No. We are done talking about the day that was it the day the clown cried?
He cried, yeah.
The day the clown cried.
It was just one day. That's
Jerry Lewis was smart enough to see that
it.
movie and say that this should never see the light of day. Like, he was smart enough to at least make that call. Oh, here we go, everybody. Welcome to Scripts Gone Wild. After a brief hiatus, we are back. And I'm your host, Billy Ray Bruton, and here with me is my co-host. Oh, wait a second. I don't have a co-host for this read because all of my normal co-hosts are reading. So it's going to be all on me tonight. So I'm going to ask myself, what do I feel about the film that we are reading tonight, which is Galaxy Quest? And I'm going to say I've never seen it.
What?
That was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh.
Yeah, I have seen it. I've seen it many times. Absolutely love it. I do want to give a shout out to the gentleman who chose this read. He won the opportunity to choose one of our upcoming reads, Mr. Jason LeBlanc. And this is what he chose. He chose Galaxy Quest. So actually, none of us would be here without Jason. So thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Jason's my dad.
Exactly.
He's all of our dad.
That's how babies are made. Jason and your mom get together, and 9 months later, you come out. Thanks, Jason.
Yes, thank you, Jason. I do want to tell you that our charity for night is a lovely organization called Project Night Night. And this is a really cool, they're a small organization, and which is why we kind of wanted to support them. And basically they create these packages. They call them night packages, and they're for homeless children. They cover them from birth to preteen. They give them like essentials and everything they need to feel better. And it's a really awesome thing that they're doing. And I want to help them as much as I can, hopefully do anything to make them bigger and better and help more children as they can. If you would like to donate to that organization, you can do so by going to our website, scriptsgonewild.com. Click on the donate tab. It's going to take you right to their portal. I think they use PayPal, so it's really quick and easy. You can donate to Project Night Night and help them get packages out to kids who need them. And if you want to donate $10, $50, $1,000, whatever you want, they will appreciate it, and we will appreciate it. And in the little descriptor in PayPal, just put Scripts Gone Wild so they know where your contribution came from. When I was a kid, even though I wasn't homeless, I would have loved to have gotten a night package. That would have been awesome.
Great. Billy Ray, this sounds like a terrific charity. When you say Project Night Night, it sounds to me like a graphic novel series about a team of like teenage assassins.
That actually seems like it could be a pretty amazing. If anybody out there wants to give that a shot, take a crack at that. If anybody out there wants to write like a 3-page treatment of that graphic novel, you can read with us.
I did that last week. It's off the table.
No, Chris, you already sold that, right?
Yeah. Can't. That's NDA. I can't go into it right now. But,
NDA, guys, it's not cool.
Speechless, Clay. He's speechless. I want to introduce our amazing group of readers before I get into asking some other questions. We've got Mr. Joey Cramer.
Hey.
Yuri Lowenthal. Clarke Wolfe. James Preston. I'm going to get it right. Paul Guyet.
Boom.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Dave Schilling. Bryan Cogman.
Yeah.
Kirk Bovill.
Hey, how you doing?
Tristan Cunningham. Woo. Jack Bennett.
Hey.
Ken Foster. Miguel Rodriguez.
Woo.
Aaron LaPlante.
Boo.
Shut up, Clay! Shut up, Clay!
Clay Keller. And Chris Devlin.
Boom.
So I have a question for you, Jack. Since you directed the documentary for Galaxy Quest, Never Surrender, when did you first fall in love with this film, and what inspired you to, devote years and hundreds and thousands of hours of your life to making a documentary about it?
Madness mostly, but I saw it trying to get out of my family's house one Christmas vacation, just in the around Christmas. I think it might have been Christmas Day, 1999. And it was just one of those things of like, well, this looks funny. I'm sure it's fine. And it's one of those movies that after we left the theater, you're literally saying, that was really good. And then nobody saw it in the theater. And that following summer, I was working in a video store in my college town, and I just brought it home the second it came out. And then every weekend when I was working, my roommates would be like, hey, can you bring home Galaxy Quest again? So I probably saw this thing hundreds of times in the summer of 2000 after seeing it in the theater in 99, Christmas 99. And it's just one of those movies where you're like, how did that movie get so good? And I finally got to ask that question of the people that made it. So
wow. Well done.
And where can people find it currently?
They can find it on Amazon. It's streaming on Amazon Prime.
That's where I saw it.
Yeah. Thank you.
On the count of 3, everyone say your favorite line from the film.
I'm not going to do that.
1. Everybody but Dave.
I'm saving it. We're saving it. Save it for
do we need to save it? Do we need to save it
for the stage?
Okay. When we get to your favorite line in the script, I want you to stop the read to say that that's your favorite line.
Okay.
That's how we're going to do it.
That's a great idea.
And then we all have to drink when you do that.
Oh,
so you can thank Aaron for that one.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Aaron.
Give him the script, and we got some deleted scenes and stuff too. There's some extra stuff that wasn't in the movie, which is great.
You're kind of putting me on the spot there, Billy. I tell you, I saw it years ago, and then when you asked me to do this, I had to go and watch it like twice, so to remind myself, right? I'm like, I know I've seen it, but I was also in a blur for quite a few years there, so I'm like, oh, wait a second, let's revisit this.
You know, it just...
So I'm like, yeah, oh, can I find my... Yes, it's a trap. That's my favorite line.
Is this a script that has profanity in it? Because I know this is a PG-13. And
I was going to ask, are we going to have Gwen saying the F word, or are we going to have her saying the ADR line?
Yeah. I guess we'll find out.
I guess we're going to find out.
I'm excited.
Stay tuned.
Follow up to Clarke.
This is a mysterious read.
Yeah.
For those of you at home who don't know how this works, so this is a drinking game. Anytime a reader flubs a line, misses a cue, does anything that we can construe as a mistake, they have to take a drink as their penance. Our Twitter followers choose what we call social words. These are words that whenever the readers read them aloud in the script, everybody takes a drink. It doesn't count if I read it in the stage direction. It only counts when the readers tackle them. And those words tonight are historical and computer. So I don't know that it's going to be, I don't know that everyone's liver is going to fail, but hopefully it will still do. If it doesn't look like it's doing enough, I'll just start making people drink at random. That seems fair. And we do a finish your drink line chosen by our Patreon subscribers. Whenever this line is read aloud, everybody finishes whatever drink is in their hand, whether it is a fresh pour or a couple of sips. And that line tonight is by Grabthar's Hammer. What a savings. That seems appropriate. Do any of our readers have any questions? Does anyone have any questions, queries about what happens? We're going to yell drink when people need to drink. But we'll try not to do it during monologues or anything like that if there's something meaty that you're diving into. Otherwise, don't get offended if I say drink.
And Billy Ray, you specified that on flubs, only the flubber has to take a drink, not everyone.
Correct. So on the many times that Chris Devlin fucks up a line, it will only be him drinking, nobody else.
Wow, coming out hard, Billy.
He seemed really offended by that. Any other questions? If not, we're going to just dive right into this sumbitch.
Do it.
Okay.
By Grabthar's Hammer.
By Grabthar's Hammer, we shall read the script. Galaxy Quest by David Howard and Robert Gordon. Outer space, the vastness of space. Suddenly a hole in the sky opens with a flash and a spaceship rumbles into view. On its hull, the letters NSEA Protector. Magnificent. Though on closer inspection, it shudders ever so slightly, denoting pre-CGI model work on a budget. We're watching a TV show.
We're exiting the time knot now, sir.
5 members of the crew of the NSEA Protector sit in a large circa 1979 high-tech cabin, all of them human except for Dr. Lazarus, a purple reptilian-looking alien. Laredo is 9. The crewmates exchange relieved smiles.
Miguel, you're muted.
Drink!
Yeah, you have to drink. Just
We're alive.
Already. We're alive.
We made it, Commander. We made it.
By Grabthar's hammer, we live to tell the tale.
Systems register functional.
All systems are working, Commander.
They all turn to look at the commander, who turns to reveal himself dramatically. Good looking. His acting is classic Charlton Heston, take no prisoner style. He looks around the command deck worried, almost sniffing the air.
I don't like it. It was too easy. Look for ambient energy fields.
All normal, sir. The entire spectrum.
Check again, Laredo.
Yes, sir. Wait. Oh, no.
His radar lights up with dots. First a few, then hundreds.
They're everywhere. There are time knots opening everywhere.
Impact now, Commander.
An explosion rocks the ship.
We're surrounded. We're surrounded, Commander. The entire 5K ranking is out there.
Our plasma armor?
Gone, sir.
Boom!
Structural damage at 68%.
We're getting major structural damage.
It's a core meltdown, sir. It can't be stopped.
The commander turns to his advisor.
Commander, surrender may only be our only option. Fuck, I should drink.
No! Never give up. Never surrender.
The reactor has eaten through 4 levels. 6 levels. The ship is disintegrating.
Your orders, sir? Sir, your orders.
The commander walks into close-up, steely determination.
Activate the Omega-13.
The crewmates exchange expectant and terrified glances. Close-up of a crewman's hand as he operates a series of controls, which in turn opens 5 layers of mechanical locks, revealing a serious-looking lever. The commander pulls that lever. A machine is revealed rising from the floor in the middle of the room. It begins to glow. Cut to each actor in turn reacting dramatically. Then, suddenly, the picture goes white. Leader numbers appear with a studio copyright notice. Enthralled... Hundreds of faces, enthralled legions of mostly spotty-faced male adolescent fans staring into camera. For a moment, all is silent. A few are sobbing. Then a burst of thunderous applause. We're at a science fiction convention. The enthusiastic crowd of fans continue cheering as the master of ceremonies, Guy, takes the stage.
Well, there you are. You are the first people to see the Lost Galaxy Quest episode 52 two-parter since it was originally aired in '82. As most of you know, no concluding episode was filmed when the series was canceled, so the episode was never included in the syndication run. Let's hear it for Travis Lotke, who actually rescued the footage from the studio garbage. Can you believe that? Yeah. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the intrepid crew of the NSEA Protector!
But a stagehand in the wing signals forgot a stretch.
But first, what is a hero? Let's take a look at a few more clips.
Backstage, here we meet the real-life actors all dressed as their TV alter egos. Gwen DeMarco, beautiful in a sexy and improbable bodysuit. Alexander Dane, Dr. Lazarus, wearing green alien prosthetic makeup. Fred Kwan, calm, sitting in an apple box reading the paper. Tommy Laredo Weber, the youngest of the group.
Where the hell is he? An hour and a half late. An hour and a half.
This is great. They're going to start eating each other out there.
He's a twit.
Oh, and did you hear he booked another fan appearance without us?
You're kidding. When for?
Tomorrow morning before the store opening.
He's a miserable twit.
That guy is terminally selfish.
He ate my sandwich.
What?
A month ago, he ate my sandwich.
And he ate Fred's sandwich.
Gwen turns to notice Alexander staring into a makeup mirror, eyes roaming over his alien green makeup and scaly rubber features with a mournful expression.
Oh, Alex, get away from that thing.
Oh, God, how did I come to this?
Not again.
I played Richard III.
5 curtain calls.
5 curtain calls. I was an actor once. Damn it, now look at me, look at me.
Settle down, Alex, please.
No, I can't go out there. I won't say that ridiculous catchphrase one more time. I won't. I can't.
At least you had a part. You had a character people loved. My TV Guide interview was 6 paragraphs about this bodysuit, about my legs. How did I perfect my trademark side saddle pose? Nobody ever bothered to ask what I do on the ship.
You were the, wait, I'll think of it.
I repeated the computer. It's getting hotter, Commander. Oh, computer.
Yep, there it is.
Got it. Good job, Clay.
It's getting hotter, Commander. The ship is disintegrating, Commander. Nothing I did ever affected the plot. Not once. Nothing I did was ever taken seriously.
Excuse me. I'm an African American playing a 9-year-old Malaysian named Laredo. Hello?
Suddenly, the rear stage doors open and Jason Neesmith, the commander, strolls in, all exuberance and charm.
My friends, your commander has arrived. Am I too late for Alexander's panic attack? Apparently so. That's irregular. You should have that looked at. Lakers are hot. Speaking of which, Gwen, you look spectacular. Okay, what did I do now?
Guy continues to stall.
Sure, the rocks looked hollow and the sets moved when anyone bumped into them, but we didn't care.
Film clips are projected behind him. On an alien planet, the commander carries the limp body of his advisor, Lazarus, ray guns erupting around him. On the command deck, the crew fights a space battle with a crack precision teamwork.
For those 4 seasons from 79 to 82, we, the viewers, developed the same affection for the crew of the NSEA Protector that the crew had for each other. These weren't just adventurers exploring space. These were friends.
Backstage.
You said we do appearances together or not at all.
I didn't say that. I said, wouldn't it be great if we could always work together? That's what I said.
Unbelievable.
You are so full of shit.
Few fans. They built a little set in their garage. I come in for an hour at most. It's a nothing.
How much of a nothing? Not enough to split 5 ways kind of nothing?
What do you want me to say, Gwen? They wanted the commander.
Suddenly, bright light streams in. They all turn to see Alexander skulking out the exit. A beat. Then they all run to catch him, tackling him. On stage, Guy gets a thumb-up cue from a stagehand and begins to introduce the cast to the delight of the applauding fans.
Okay, here we go. Let's hear a warm welcome for crack gunner navigator Laredo Tommy Weber.
Tommy comes bounding out with a big smile, his hair mussed. Behind him is a film clip of young Laredo in action.
If it's got quantum rockets, I can fly it.
Ship's Tech Sergeant Chen, Fred Kwan.
He rolls out.
Give me a stick of gum and a hairpin and we're on our way.
Backstage, Gwen and Jason are wrestling on the ground with Alexander.
Alex, you can't just leave.
Oh, can't I? Watch me.
Come on, old friend.
Friend, you stole all my best lines. You cut me out of episode 2 entirely.
The beautiful shipmate, Tawny Madison, Gwen DeMarco.
Gwen takes the stage noticeably ruffled, and in the film clip, she looks around the cabin fearfully.
100 degrees and rising.
It's getting hotter, Commander.
Many appreciative whistles.
And now, the commander's advisor and closest friend, his peaceful nature ever at odds with the savage warrior inside him after witnessing the massacre of his entire species as a boy.
We see a split screen shot of Alexander, one mild-mannered, the other a savage beast of vengeance, tearing into a foe. Backstage, Jason's still in a wrestling match with Alexander.
You will go out there.
I won't, and nothing you say.
Show must go on.
Damn you. Damn you.
Dr. Lazarus of Tevmec, Alexander Dane.
Alex bounds up on stage, bowing deep with grace and humility. The stage-trained British actor.
By Grabthar's hammer, you shall be avenged.
And finally, my fellow Questarians, the brave commander of the NSEA Protector, Peter Quincy Taggart, Jason Nesmith.
Jason appears and the spotlight follows him on.
Unbelievable. He rented a spot?
Never give up. Never surrender. Damn the resonance cannons. Full speed ahead.
Everyone goes crazy.
The commander and his crew will be signing autographs on Imperial Decks B and C near the Coke machines.
In the convention hallway, it's quiet. We're on 4 pairs of boots walking down the hallway and pen up to reveal 5 serious-looking young people, 4 men and a woman, clean-cut as Disneyland employees and impeccably outfitted in Galaxy Quest-style uniforms. Something odd about them you can't quite put your finger on. For now, we'll refer to them as the Peculiar Fans. We move with the Peculiar Fans as they enter the bustling convention floor, making their way past the numerous fans dressed as their favorite Galaxy Quest characters, through the various booths selling Galaxy Quest and other sci-fi memorabilia, catching snippets of conversation along the way. They pass to elaborately costumed alien fans talking.
Yeah, I used to be a Garknor Bang, but I got a rash from the chest pad, so now I'm a sack nod from episode 5, which is fine, except the transducer pinches when I sit down.
They pass a group of particularly earnest fans at a vendor's booth, also costumed as the 5 Galaxy Quest leads. Their leader, Brandon Weger, inspects the seller's model of the Defender contemptuously.
The tail fin is concave, not convex. The proton reactor is where the influx thermistor should be, and my God, is this tester's blue-green number 6 on the hull? This is complete abortion.
With curious glances to this similarly uniformed group, the peculiar fans move past and come to a halt as they spot Jason up on a raised platform at the front of the hall, signing autographs for a long line of fans. The peculiar fans stare at Jason as if they were in the presence of God. They exchange astonished smiles and start towards him. At the cast table, Gwen, Tommy, Alexander, and Fred sign autographs at a row of tables near Jason, but significantly lower than his perch.
Is it me, or does his table get higher every convention?
One of many fans dressed as Dr. Lazarus steps up to him and salutes him with a crossed fist.
I grab Thor's hammer. By the sons of Warvin, I will avenge you.
Alexander ignores this, grabs the photo from his hand, signs it, thrusts it back, and the next fan steps up.
I grab Thor's hammer by the...
He signs and thrusts it back.
Next.
Guy approaches the actors at their tables.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, thanks for the nice intro.
Guy, you probably don't remember me, do you? I was on the show in 82, episode 31. Got killed by the lava monster before the first commercial, crewman number 6. Listen, I was wondering, would you guys mind if I sit in today, see if anybody's interested in an autograph? Never know.
Sure, Guy, if you can stand the excitement.
2 more fans dressed as Alexander's character approach him, proudly chattering at him in the Mokhtar language.
That would make me get a restraining order.
Across the room, the peculiar fans are making... You know what? I just feel like we need to cheers to the late Alan Rickman.
Oh, yes.
Goddamn right,
Alan Rickman.
And you're playing him beautifully. Holy shit.
He is not rolling over in his grave. He's laughing. The peculiar fans are making their way through the crowd toward Jason. We suddenly notice something very strange. The left hand of the tallest one is flickering between a normal hand and a hand with 7 long blue tentacles for fingers. The leader notices and motions to the afflicted man, who raps sharply against a metal blinking box on his belt. The hand becomes normal again. He looks up, nods at the leader, and from now on we'll just refer to these 5 as the aliens. At the cast table, Guy now sits with the others, forlorn. No fans are in line for his autograph. He watches as Fred fields questions from the group of fans led by Brandon.
Mr. Kwan, in episode 19, when the reactor fused, you used an element from Leopold 6 to fix the quantum rockets. What was that called?
Vibrachium.
The blue sheath it was encased in?
A bithermal Krevlite housing.
How do you remember this stuff?
Oh, I make it up. Use lots of K's and V's.
A male fan moves to Gwen.
I'm a big fan, Mr. Marco.
You really expect me to sign a naked picture of myself? This isn't even my body.
Yeah, normally with fakes, it's like recycle bin, but this one's really good. Could you not write over the... Thanks.
A fan finally approaches Guy, who looks up eagerly. The fan looks at him quizzically, trying to place him.
Episode 12. Killed by the lava monster?
Laredo, could I get an autograph?
Guy shrugs, disappointed. Gwen gives him a comforting look, then looks across at Jason on his perch, talking dramatically to a group of fans. A young boy watches wide-eyed.
On one hand, if I had moved an inch, the beast would have killed me. On the other hand, my crew was in danger.
How did you know what to do?
Without a crew, I'm not a commander. And we all know what happened to that beast on Enoch 7.
The fans make happy, nerdy, we sure do noises. At the table, Gwen shakes her head appreciatively.
You gotta admit, they do love him.
Almost as much as he loves himself.
I'm glad you asked. To me, the most important qualities of a galaxy explorer are loyalty,
The camera center, no matter whose shot you're blocking.
leadership,
To make sure craft services keeps those little butter cookies and plenty of them.
and determination.
Playing scenes shirtless because the ladies do love Commander Furry.
Gwen, Alex, and the others try to contain their laughter. Bored with the constant queries of his fans, Jason glances over to see Gwen smiling at him. She quickly looks away, self-conscious. Jason doesn't even take his eyes off Gwen as Brandon steps forward, his brow knit with serious matters.
Commander, please settle a dispute that my crew and I are having. In the Quasar Dilemma, the scientists had taken control of the ship's guidance system. However,
excuse me, guys.
I hadn't even gotten to the relevant conundrum.
Miss DeMarco, in episode 15, Mist of Delos 5, I got the feeling you and the commander kind of had a thing in the swamp when you were stranded there. Did you?
The commander and I never had a thing.
That's her story.
Gwen looks up to see Jason. The girl giggles and exits, and Jason smiles at Gwen.
What?
You smiled at me.
Rolling her eyes, Gwen rises and walks off. Undaunted, Jason follows, but runs into the 5 aliens. Their leader, Mathazar, bows respectfully, then follows along as Jason pursues Gwen.
Commander, I must speak to you.
Yes.
Yes. It is a matter of supreme importance. We are Thermians from the Klaatu Nebula, and we require your help. I beseech you to come with us back to our ship. A great many lives hang in the balance.
Right.
That's fucking great.
Everybody drink to how great that was.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, if this is about that thing tomorrow, you can hammer out the details with my agent. But make sure I have a limo for my house. They jammed me into a Toyota last time, and I did one of these.
Certainly, but
yeah, catch me later, okay?
Jason catches up to Gwen and he spins her around dramatically.
Crewman Madison, I'm sorry. Whatever I do next, I have no control. It's the mist on this strange planet. It's filling my head with such thoughts.
He leans in for a tortured kiss. Some fans gather, delighted by the impromptu show, but Gwen steps aside.
It was cute when I didn't know you.
She exits. Jason tries to pretend that doesn't hurt. On the convention floor, Jason moves forward, introspective, amidst the enthusiastic fans. They all shout out questions and comments to him, but Jason pushes past without response and takes refuge in the men's room. Enters to witness the incongruous sight of 4 Manknar beasts at the urinals taking a Manknar piss. Great description. Jason enters the stall and sits on the lid, trying to get a moment to think.
Good writing.
But 2 cynical 20-somethings enter, laughing their asses off. He can hear their voices echo from the other side.
Right. What a freak show. This is going to be freaking hilarious.
Yeah, what a bunch of losers. And those poor actors. They're done, for 20 years? I think Fred Kwan did a dog food commercial. Sad.
Did you hear Nesmith up there? That's the saddest. I think he actually gets off when these nerds think he's a space commander. It's pathetic. And his friends.
They hate him. I know. Did you hear them ragging on him? Commander Furry.
He has no idea that he's a laughingstock, even to his buddies.
They exit, their laughter ringing in Jason's ears. On the floor, Jason is back at his table signing autographs in a foul mood. He scribbles his name irritably, avoiding contact with the fans as Brandon and his group of aficionados approach them.
Commander, as I was saying, in the Quasar Dilemma, you use the auxiliary of Deck B for Gamma Override, but online blueprints indicate Deck B is independent of the guidance matrix. So we were wondering where the error lies. I'm going to drink 2 for that one.
We know where the error lies.
Hey, it's a television show, okay? That's all. It's just a bunch of fake sets and wooden props. Do you understand?
Yes, but we were wondering.
There is no quantum flux. There is no auxiliary. There's no goddamn ship. Do you get it?
Jason notices that all eyes are turned on him. The hall has become deathly quiet. He rises abruptly and exits through the hall, and Brandon and the fans do their best not to take it personally. At Gwen's house, Gwen is cooking something intricate and delicious as she talks to Alex on the phone. Her house is tasteful and bright on a budget.
I don't know, Alex. He's never gone quite this far before.
At Alexander's apartment, he sits at his kitchen table applying spirit gum remover to the edges of his alien appliance.
I've said for years he's mentally unstable.
He stands and moves to the refrigerator, nothing but a hunk of very rank cheese, which he sniffs disdainfully.
Oh, good. There's nothing to eat.
Why didn't you stop at the market?
I still haven't got this bloody thing off.
You could order something in.
A boy comes to the door.
I don't know. It wasn't like him.
Yes, poor Jason. As we speak, he's probably out somewhere talking rubbish to a room full of hangers-on while I sit here eating Christmas cheese in the spring.
In Jason's bedroom, he sits on the edge of the bed, staring at the TV, sipping scotch, flipping channels. He stops at the conclusion of an episode of Galaxy Quest as Commander Taggart makes a heroic speech. Jason mouths the words along with his alter ego.
As long as there is injustice, whenever a Tagarthian baby cries out, wherever a distress signal sounds among the stars, we'll be there. This fine ship, this fine crew, never give up. Never surrender.
We pan back to the bed. Jason is passed out, body twisted face down in a pillow. The next morning, he sleeps, hungover, dead to the world. His doorbell rings. He barely moves. Every indication is that he's dead. More ringing. He stirs enough to groan and drags a pillow over his head as the ringing continues. He opens the door in his robe, drooping bloodshot eyes, squint of a headache. There before him are the aliens, dressed in their perfect Galaxy's Quest attire. Jason stares at them bleary-eyed, and with earnest, respectful faces, the five salute him in the classic Galaxy Quest style. Jason shuts the door in their face. Ding dong! The door opens again.
What do you want?
Sir, I understand this is a terrible breach of protocol, but please, I beg you to hear our plea. We are Thermians from the Klaatu Nebula. Our people are being systematically hunted and slaughtered by the Rotha Ceres of Hatu Cray. Ceres wants the Omega-13. We are to meet in negotiation. However, our past efforts in this regard have been nothing short of disastrous. The flames, the death. Please, Captain, you are our only hope. Our last hope. We have secured a limousine.
Oh, right. Right, the thing with the thing. Okay, come on. I'll get some pants on.
Jason's house. The four aliens stand on one side of the room. Jason, mostly dressed, hunts under his couch for something.
Commander, standing here in your presence is the greatest honor we could ever have hoped to achieve in our lifetimes.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Anybody seen my other shoe?
Lincoln limo. Jason sits in back with Mathazar and the others, half awake.
Sir, I am Nehru, Senior Requisition Officer. Before we travel to the ship, please let me know if you have any requirements, weapons, documents, personnel.
I could use some Coke. A Coke.
Sir, I am Teb. I would like to explain the history between our people and the Ceres Dominion in greater detail. In the 5 million years following the Great Nebula Burst, our people were one.
What about him? Does he talk?
His translator is broken.
The fourth alien says something, but it comes out a weird mix of sounds, like a screaming baby inside a bagpipe.
Okie dokie. So listen, I had a late night with a Cremorian Fangar beast, so yeah, I'm gonna shut my eyes for a bit. Go on, I'm listening to every word.
Jason is asleep before Teb gets the next sentence out. In the receiving quarters, Protector 2, Jason is shaken softly by the shoulders. He opens his eyes to see a young female crewman, Laliari. We hear a low rumble.
Yeah, I got most of it in the car. He's the bad guy, right?
Wait, hold on.
Wait. Yeah, I think Laliari's next.
Who's Laliari?
Oh,
Who's Laliari?
I jumped someone's. Okay.
I think that's
Who's Liliari?
I think that's Tristan.
Oh, it is? Okay. Hey.
Like what?
I'm sorry to wake you, sir, but your presence is requested on the command deck.
Jason tries to reorient himself as she leans him forward. Hallway, the Protector 2. Laliari escorts Jason down the high-tech hallway. Jason looks around, still holding his can of Coke.
Sir, Saurus has moved the deadline. We are approaching his ship at the Ni Delta now. He wants an answer to his proposal. I understand you have been briefed.
Yeah, I got most of it in the car. He's the bad guy, right?
Yes, sir. He is a very bad man indeed. He has tortured our scientists, put us to work in the gallium arsenide mines, captured our females for his own demented purposes.
Okay, I get the picture. You got pages, or you just want me to go for it?
I'm not sure
Your pages. Never mind. Let's see what old Cyrus has to say for himself.
Mathazar approaches with other crew members.
Commander, welcome to the Protector 2. Would you like to don your uniform?
Yeah, mind if we skip that? I got to get back pretty quick for this thing in Van Nuys.
As you wish.
Another alien comes running up out of breath.
Sir, it's Cyrus. He's here.
The command deck. A door slides open and Jason and the others enter the command deck. It's straight out of the TV show. Blinking lights, consoles, the cool old tech displays, but a bit dark. Jason looks around, genuinely impressed, still wearing his glasses.
Oh, not bad. Usually it's painted cardboard boxes in a garage.
He sits in the commander's chair.
Sir, we apologize for operating in low power mode, but we are experiencing a reflective flux field this close to the galactic axis.
No problem. Does this thing have a cup holder?
Small analysis, Commander.
Yeah, what's your name?
Clef.
Oh,
sir.
what's your name? What's your name?
Jason signs his autograph and hands it back. There you go.
We're approaching in 5 ticks, sir. Command to slow.
Jason looks toward the front window view screen. Stars move past in a familiar display.
Sure, yeah. Set the screensaver on 2. Sorry. I didn't mean to break the mood. Slow to Mark 2. Lieutenant?
It just occurred to me, Joey, I think you're only going to ever do scripts with us where there are people named Navigator speaking.
All right.
A ship appears on the screen, growing closer. It is a menacing craft, sharp and jagged, with a gargoyle-shaped figurehead. Then the view screen fuzzes to life with an image of Cyrus. He's ugly and green-hued, black, sharp teeth, a metal hand. He hisses. There's a beat as the aliens take in the sight, trying to well their courage.
I see fear, and that is expected. They bring a new commander. Such a cowardly species. Not even your own kind. No matter. Here are my demands, and I would suggest, Commander, that you think well before speaking a word, because these negotiations are tender. And if I do not like what I hear, there will be blood and pain as you cannot imagine.
Jason takes a sip of Coke and checks his watch.
First, I require the Omega-13. Second...
Okie dokie. Let's fire the blue particle cannons full. Fire the red particle cannons full. Fire Guyet magnets left and right. Fire pulse catapults from all chutes. And throw this thing at him too, killer.
He hands the gunner the empty Coke can. Then before even waiting for the weapons to reach their target, he exits. In the hallway, he emerges and looks both ways, trying to get his bearings. Several of the aliens chase after him as he enters the corridor, exchanging stunned glances, trying to absorb the magnitude of what just happened.
Commander, where are you going?
Home.
You mean Earth?
Yeah, Earth. Yeah, time to get back to Earth, kids.
He turns the corner. Jason is oblivious to the muffled sounds of explosions, traces of the demolition going on outside.
But Commander, the negotiation, you fired on him.
Right. Long live, what's your planet?
Theramin.
Long live Theramin. Take a left here?
But what if Cyrus survives?
Oh, I don't think so. I gave him both barrels.
He has a very powerful ship. Perhaps you would like to wait and see the results of the...
I would, but I'm really running late, and it's, the 134 is a parking lot after 2. But listen, the guy gives you any more trouble, just give a call.
Mathazar produces a walkie-talkie device for Jason.
An interstellar vox.
Thanks.
Mathazar looks him in the eye. A tear starts down his cheek. He hugs Jason, then shakes his hand sincerely.
How can we thank you, Commander? You have saved our people.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, you kids are great.
The others shake his hand, thanking him as they enter the interstellar pod room, a room with a very high circular ceiling. The aliens continue thanking Jason as they lead him to the center of the room. He realizes he's left all alone in this strange room with no visible doors, suddenly aware that he is standing on a glowing red disc.
Wait. Where's the car?
Suddenly, a clear cylinder rises from the disc and conforms around him, encasing him in a clear bullet-shaped container. There is only an instant to register surprise as the ceiling divides and an awe-inducing rotating star field is revealed. The walls pull back around him, and Jason finds himself surrounded by the infinite vastness of space. And his face is a mask of horror in the split instant as Jason is in the pod, is rocketed forward into space. We pull back slowly from the iris of Jason's eye. He is now standing on the red disc in the middle of his own backyard. He stands there in shock, teeth chattering, shivering in waves and waves from the incomprehension of what he's just experienced, unable to move. Crickets chirp in Brandon's garage. Inside the open garage of a suburban house sits Brendan and his friends in their uniforms, surrounded by a homemade spaceship interior constructed of painted cardboard boxes and Christmas lights. Brandon and his friends look very disappointed. The commander never showed. The computer store parking lot, Gwen, Alexander, Tommy, Fred, and Guy perform for the store's grand opening. A small crowd is gathered, including Brandon and his gang, inspecting a mock-up of the Protector.
Take it from us. We've been all over the universe.
Oh, we've never seen the space age values we've seen here at
Petco Electronics Superstore.
By Grabthar's hammer.
Shit.
What a savings.
Your drink!
Cheers.
Gotta open a new one.
Brian, your Mathazar is fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh my God, dude.
Christ.
Very, very good.
And Aaron, my God, that is brilliant.
Thank you.
I love that reader, dude.
If you're watching, he's an actor and he's available. Okay, a few balloons are released into the air. I just wanted to read that line. At the computer store, the actors hand out pamphlets and sign the occasional autograph. Fred pats Alexander's back, who stares ahead, morose. Around the corner, Jason appears, looking around with a disoriented yet exhilarated twinkle in his eye. He spots his friends and starts quickly toward the cast table, but runs smack into the group of fans led by Brandon. Brandon and Jason go down, along with an armful of Galaxy Quest collectibles.
Commander, look, my apologies. Commander, evidently we had some miscommunications regarding yesterday's scheduled voyage, and...
Jason, still in a haze, simply gathers his things and walks off. The other nerds look at Brandon.
You dissed us again, Brandon.
Probably has some very important business to attend to.
Maybe we should just start a Star Trek club.
The others turn silent, incredulous. Brandon looks at Hollister with hard, cold eyes. Pacino's scene with Fredo.
Don't say that to me.
He walks away. The others glare at Hollister. At the actors' table, they look up to see Jason approaching.
Do you know what time it is? Why do you even bother to show up?
Jason has so much to say he can't get out a word. Gwen notices his wrinkled, slept-in clothing and wild eyes.
Jason, are you all right?
I was there. Up there. They came to the convention. I thought they were fans, but they're not. They took me up into their ship. They're called Thermians or Thadians or I don't know. I was a little hungover, but what they built, it's incredible. I fought this thing called Saris. I kicked his ass. They have these pods, and one took me through a black hole. I know what you're thinking, but I can prove it. Look, they gave me this.
He searches his pockets frantically and produces the interstellar Vox. The thing blinks its little red light. He motions victoriously. The others exchange glances, then produce their own blinking Voxes and set them on the table.
Yes, but can you talk to people in space on yours? Protector, this is the commander. Come in, Protector.
The others exchange glances. Alexander turns to Gwen.
God, what an ass.
Come in, Protector. Protector.
That's it. It's time to go.
Okay, don't do it, Tommy. He's not worth it.
Jason notices a label on his Vox that reads property of Brandon Weger. He looks around for Brandon.
This isn't mine. Wait, where's that kid?
You know, it's one thing to treat us this way, but how can you do this to your fans?
Jason looks up and sees the young woman we recognize as Thermian Laliari. She's flanked by two young crewmen.
Begging your pardon, Commander, we come with news. Saris lives. He was able, upon your departure, to make an escape. However, he has contacted us and wishes to surrender. We humbly implore you to return with us to negotiate the terms.
Jason looks at Laliari, then turns back to the others, his experience twinkling in his eyes.
They want me back. I want you all to come. You have to come with me. It'll be the most amazing experience of our lives. We're going to negotiate an alien general's surrender in space. You have to. Guys.
They had begun to walk away one by one in disgust. Only Gwen remains, and she looks at Jason.
Gwen, you know me. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not crazy.
Electronic store shipping warehouse. Jason inspects himself in a mirror. He meticulously smooths his commander's insignia, fastens a stray buckle, carefully picks a piece of lint off his shirt, and then he looks into his own eyes for a long moment, finally turning to Laliari, a smile, eyes glistening. Nearby, a pod disc on the floor glows.
Ready.
In the dressing room, the actors enter.
Let me hit him.
I don't know, guys. I mean, he almost looked sincere. I know, it's bizarre.
I think we should have taken the gig. I mean, who knows the next time he'll ask us.
They all turn slowly to Fred. Of course he was talking about a gig. Electronics store. The actors hurry through the aisles to the back of the store. Gwen shouts to an employee stocking shelves.
Did the commander come through here?
The employee points to the back, taken with Gwen's beauty. Gwen, Alex, and the others enter and look around. Laliari is still in the room alone. She lights up as they enter.
We're coming too.
Wonderful. The commander had me continue transmitting in the hopes you would change your mind. Protector, requesting 6 interstellar pods for immediate departure.
Tommy rolls his eyes at Gwen. These fans. But Gwen suddenly notices the pod disc glowing beneath their feet.
Guys.
Alex tries to step off the disc, but it moves to follow him.
What in the world?
I look forward to meeting you all in person when we arrive at the ship. End transmission.
And with that, Laliari blinks and vanishes. She was simply a hologram transmission. Full realization hits Gwen.
Oh my God. Oh my God!
Interior, NSEA Protector. The room lights brilliantly with a series of flashes. In rapid succession, the pods arrive with a flash through a hatch in the ceiling. They unfold to reveal Gwen, Alexander, Tommy, and Guy, who stand paralyzed and teeth chattering. They look like a bunch of horrified bowling pins, all facing forward. A metal hatch. Beyond it, they register the sound of wet footsteps growing closer. Their eyes widen as they see the hatch open, revealing a group of 5 horrible, tentacled, drooling, screaming alien monsters who surround our visitors, probing them with jagged devices. Then one of the monsters looks down to a mechanism on his belt.
Oops. Crewmen, your skins. Activate your e-skins.
The monsters all flip switches on their belts. Their forms become human, uniformed as ship technicians.
Our most sincere apologies. We forgot our appearance generators.
Then Jason appears in the doorway.
Guys, you came. Oh, okay. Who wants a grand tour?
Guy is now relaxed enough to let out the loudest, most genuine scream you've ever heard in your life.
Sorry for that. I'll drink.
Okay, Guy. Anybody else?
Then another streak of light, and Fred appears alongside the others. He steps off the disc unaffected.
Now that was a hell of a thing. What's wrong with him?
Protector docking structure. Jason leads Gwen, Alexander, Tommy, Guy, and Fred down the hall. They shuffle forward like recent hospital releasees, looking around silent and dumbfounded at their surroundings. Occasional involuntary jerks of their limbs, evidence of their horrifying journey.
Yeah, that's right. Just keep shaking it out. Here, have some gum. It helps.
Where are we?
23rd quadrant of the Gamma sector. I can show you on a map.
Then Mathazar appears coming down the hall with a small group of aliens. He has a warm smile on his face.
Welcome, my friends. I am Mathazar. On behalf of my people, I wish to thank you from the deepest place in our hearts. Oh, Dr. Lazarus, Lieutenant Madison, young Laredo, how you've grown, Tech Sergeant Chen, and...
Crewman number 6. Call me Guy.
You know us?
I don't believe there is a man, woman, or child on my planet who does not. In the years since we first received your ship's historical...
Drake!
Documents, we have studied every facet of your missions, technologies, and strategies.
Historical documents.
Drake. So it begins.
18 years ago, we received transmission of the first. It continued for 4 years and then stopped as mysteriously as it came.
You've been watching the show. the historical records
Fuck you.
out here?
Yes. In the last 100 years, our society had fallen into disarray. Our goals, our values had become scattered, but since the transmission, we have modeled many aspects of our society from your example, and it has saved us. Your courage, teamwork, friendship through adversity. In fact, all you see around you comes from the lessons garnered from the historical
Holy shit.
Woo.
documents.
That's why you built this ship?
It's incredible.
Oh, this? No, this isn't the ship. This is only the starport for the ship. You want to see the ship?
He pushes a button and a door opens leading to a docking pad. They enter. He pushes another button and the doors close and the transport starts moving. As it clears the wall, we see out the window a magnificent and breathtaking view of the enormous NSEA protector docked in front of them. They all gawk at the amazing sight, their eyes wide like children.
Oh my God, it's real.
All this from watching the historical records.
Ooh.
Yes, and from your supplementary technical documents, of course.
He motions to another alien who withdraws a number of brightly colored books and boxes from a backpack. The actors look through the various fan books and entertainment software bearing such titles as The Official Galaxy Quest Blueprints, NSEA Protector, and Virtual Galaxy Quest, the CD-ROM Experience. The actors exchange glances and then Tommy begins to giggle. Alex looks at him as the fan stuff, then out at the enormous ship, and he begins to laugh too. The others join in laughing like maniacs, hysterical, disbelieving laughter as they head towards the giant ship. In the Protector, the group walks down the corridor, peeking into various rooms, more awestruck every second. As they pass each room, the crew members inside salute. Female crew members pass occasionally, saluting and offering hello commanders to Jason. This does not escape Gwen's notice. Guy always seems to be just outside the group, a little late, always trying to see between their heads.
The medical quarters are to the left.
The actors whisper to Jason all at once.
What the hell's going on?
Calm down, everybody. We're just here to negotiate General Saris's surrender.
Just
weapons storage.
Well, it's perfectly safe, I promise.
Maintenance facility.
Jason, this is crazy. We should get out of here.
Situations room, dining hall.
You want to go home? Fine. Say the word. We'll all go home. We'll feed the fish. We'll pay the bills and fall asleep with the TV on and miss out on this. Is that really what you want? Anybody?
The main barracks.
Two crewmen rise to attention.
At ease, men.
Like throwing gasoline on a fire. What?
I'm just jazzed to be on the show, man.
Generator room.
I'll say that's my favorite line, Billy Ray.
Yeah. Which one? Which one?
Just jazzed to be on the show.
On the show, man.
Have the drink, everybody.
Oh yeah.
That was Clay's favorite line. 14 more to go.
Mine happened earlier. Mine happened earlier. Activate the Omega 13.
Oh, drink on that.
That's my favorite line.
The group enters. The centerpiece of the room is a large pulsating orb. When the orb dims, we see its surface has a rocky texture, like a large boulder. Many techs scurry about, tending to the surrounding measurement devices.
The generator room. Our Bellurium sphere, of course. I hope, Tech Sergeant Chen, that this meets with your approval.
Fred runs his finger along a gleaming copper tube with authority.
Fine. Real clean.
Three younger crewmen approach and whisper to Mathazar. They argue a bit, then Mathazar reticently approaches Fred.
Tech Sergeant Chen, I am sorry to ask this of you so shortly after your arrival, but members of our reactor staff have a question they find most pressing.
Uh-huh.
Sir, we have an unexplained proton surges in our Delta unit. They cannot be verified on the sub-frequency spectrum, but appear on the balance detector when scanning the beryllium sphere. We are unable to resolve this problem, and we were hoping you would be able to advise us.
Aha, I see. Well, that's a puzzler, isn't it?
They exchange glances, wondering what he'll say.
What do you think?
That possibly the valence bonds have shifted bilaterally?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Yes, I see. Yes, it means that perhaps the bonding molecules have become covalent.
Covalent, right. So...
So our solution is to introduce a bonding substrate, a 2-molecule compound, sharing a free electron, and bombard the ions with their reflective isotopes.
Okay.
Of course. It's so obvious.
Sergeant Chin, you're a genius. Fred waves off the praise modestly. Mathazar shoots a look to Lake as if to say, we're in good hands here.
Now I suggest that you rest before we take the ship out of dock. These crewmen will escort you to your quarters.
Couple of blank pages. Media room. Tommy's escort Neru hands over various weapons to a grinning Tommy.
Here is your valence shield, your Vox, your magneto pistol. We know you prefer a sensitive trigger. If there is anything else you require?
No, I'm good. Thanks. Wait, here you go.
Tommy stuffs a couple of bucks into Neru's hand. Neru looks at the tip, perplexed, and exits. In the hallway, Alex's young escort, Clarke, leads him down the hall.
Dr. Lazarus, I hope I'm not breaching protocol, but I'm so very humbled to stand in your presence. I have studied your missions extensively. Though I am Thermian, I have lived my life by your philosophy, by the code of the Maktar.
Well, good. That's very nice.
I grab Thar's hammer, Dr. Lazarus.
Don't do that. I'm not kidding.
I'm sorry, sir. I was only...
Just don't.
Yes, sir. Your quarters, sir.
In Alex's quarters, Quellic opens the door and they enter. The room is a gray square, completely barren.
This is it.
Yes, sir. Marvelous, isn't it? Completely distractionless.
Where's my bed?
Quellic pushes a button and 6 large spikes arise from the floor.
Just as on your home planet, sir. If I may say, it took me 3 years to master the spikes, but now I sleep with a peace I never thought possible.
Is that the bathroom?
Yes, sir. The use of your waste facilities were strangely absent from the historical records. So we had to extrapolate purely on the basis of your anatomy.
In the bathroom, Alex looks down at a thing that looks more like a torture device in a toilet, with elaborate tubes and stirrups and plugs going everywhere.
You're quite complicated, sir.
Alex stares at the thing despairingly. Gwen's cabin, an exotic and beautiful room. Gwen is changing into her Galaxy Quest uniform, and there's a knock at the door.
Jason.
1 minute. I'm dressing.
Oh, come on. It's not like I haven't.
They just look at each other for a moment, and Gwen breaks out into a smile.
Yeah, I know.
I just can't believe it. Any of it. Look at this room. They've designed it based on the Tauron pleasure ship from the historical document 37.
Shit.
Ooh.
Oh.
And wait, listen to this. Computer?
Drink.
What's the weather like outside?
There is no weather in space.
I never get tired of that joke.
Let me try. Computer?
Drink.
Oh, God.
Computer?
Drink.
Only answers to me.
But I'm the commander.
On the show, I talk to the computer and repeat what it says. So that's what they built.
Come on. We're wanted up on the command deck.
Wait. When are you going to tell them?
Tell them? About...
Who we are. Don't you think they're going to be pissed?
Are you kidding? I'm not going to tell them.
Well, you have to tell them. What if something happens? We're actors, not astronauts. We can't do this stuff.
It's not the stuff. I mean, anybody can learn the stuff. The important thing is commitment. 99% of anything is just committing to it.
99% of acting is commitment. Acting, Stella Adler never manned a resonance cannon. She taught acting.
Hey, where are you going?
We have no right to do this. They deserve to know.
Gwen, come on, wait, no.
Aliari enters.
Lieutenant Madison, the females of the ship have requested your imprint for our damn it. All those historicals before this. Computers. For archival purposes at the proposed Tawny Madison Institute for Computer Research.
Gwen looks at Laliari, her eyes softening as she imprints her hand in a glowing pad.
The Tawny Madison Institute? I mean, well, maybe we could stay a little longer.
Hallway. Jason and Gwen turn a corner and join up with Tommy, Alexander, and Guy. They keep walking toward the command deck.
What's going on?
I think we're going to exit the spaceport.
That should be something to see.
Command deck. They enter and gawk at the familiar hub, waiting for the show to start, not realizing they are the show.
If you would all take your positions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Us.
They take their positions, marveling at the familiar control panels in front of them. Tommy turns to Guy.
Look, this thingy. I remember I had it all worked out. This was forward, back.
Commander, some of the crew has requested to be present at this historic event.
Mathazar motions and a few crewmen enter, followed by a dozen more, followed by 50 more. They stand around the periphery of the room, watching eagerly. Tommy turns to Guy.
No pressure, huh? Glad I'm not the commander.
Okay, Laredo. Take her out.
Everyone in the room turns their attention to Tommy. His sarcastic smile drops and he looks mortified.
Excuse me? What?
They designed the ship from watching you, so take her out, Lieutenant.
Tommy stares down at his control panel. It's pretty self-explanatory. A throttle and a circular dial for direction, but daunting nonetheless.
Right. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Everyone's eyes are glued to him as he moves the throttle forward slightly. The engines come to life, a massive, exhilarating sound. Tommy giggles nervously. His hand trembles as he pushes the throttle further. The ship starts to move. The actors exchange worried glances.
God, oh God.
You can feel the weight of the giant craft as it eases forward, sliding through the sides of the dock. Everyone watches the forward monitor. Tommy turns the navigation dial slowly, and Guy whispers to him.
The left. Stay parallel.
Hey, you want to drive this thing?
Stardock. The ship is slightly off course. It's like trying to get out of a tight parking space with concrete walls to either side, and the ship is veering ever so slightly into one of the walls. Tommy turns the dial to correct, but it looks like the momentum might carry the ship into the wall anyway. Tommy pegs the dial to the left, and the others hold their breath as the bow of the ship moves closer and closer to the wall. Then it touches. The sound of a soft but high-pitched scrape.
Oh, shit.
The ship is stopped, just grazing the wall ever so slightly. All eyes are on Tommy. He doesn't know what to do. Should he continue forward or back up and scrape again for sure? The classic parking lot dilemma, magnified by 10,000. Tommy grasps the throttle and moves it slightly forward. Scrape. He keeps going, in too deep to back out now, and the ship continues to scrape for a couple of 100 seconds as it completes the curve of horrible seconds, not 100. And then it is free! The beautiful craft glides slowly out to open space, and Jason and the others let out a sigh of relief like...
Very good, Lieutenant. Forward Mark II.
Mark II, Commander. Beep.
The ship glides out to space. Only a relatively minor scrape of the paint job to show for the incident. In the dining hall, the crew and various aliens sit around the large table, eating an extravagant meal. Mathazar makes a toast.
To our brave guests. Few in this universe have the opportunity to meet their heroes. We are blessed to count ourselves among them.
Wherever a distress signal sounds among the stars, we'll be there. This fine ship, this fine crew. Never give up, never surrender.
Everybody clinks glasses. Quillick tips his glass to Alexander, and Teb turns to Tommy.
We are so sorry about the instrumentation, Lieutenant Laredo. There must have been a malfunction in the steerage mechanism.
Just see it doesn't happen again.
Yes, sir. How are you enjoying your food, Lieutenant Madison?
Oh, it's fantastic. French is my favorite.
Yes, we programmed the food synthesizer for each of you based on the regional menu of your birthplace. Are you enjoying your Kepmock blood ticks, Dr. Lazarus?
Alexander, miserable, toys with a bowl of living insects swimming in a disgustingly vomit-mixtured broth.
Just like Mother used to make.
Dining hall, the actors are wilted, half asleep as Jason goes on.
The beast roared as I plunged the knife in again and again. I held on for dear life as it thrashed about. And that was the day I learned that a Clive serpent bleeds red. What price, man? What price, man?
Tell me, Mathazar, this Saris bloke we're flying to meet, what is it he wants exactly?
For years, Saris has plundered the resources of our planet, our people, our technology. We built this ship in order to find a new planet to settle, one far away from Saris. We are not a people accustomed to confrontation. We are scientists. This ship was our salvation.
A tick jumps off Alexander's spoon back into the soup.
But Saris found out about our plans just as we had completed construction of the Protector 2. He heard about the device, the Omega-13.
The Omega-13. Why does that sound so familiar?
The lost footage at the convention. The mysterious device in our last episode's historical document.
Drink.
What is it? What does it do?
We don't know.
But you built one, right?
Built something from the blueprints and what references we could find on your internet. Our computer neural nets made educated guesses in areas we were uncertain. So there is actually much about the device we don't even understand. We were hoping you could enlighten us.
Well, it's this was a device we discovered on an alien planet. We don't know what it does either.
Why don't you just turn it on and see?
It has at its heart a reactor capable of generating unthinkable energy. If we were mistaken in our construction by even the slightest calculation, the device would act as a molecular explosive, causing a chain reaction that would obliterate all matter in the universe.
Let me at the switch.
Mathazar, has Saris seen the historical records?
No, thank God he has not.
Then how did he find out about the device?
Our former commander was not strong.
Former commander?
I'm sorry. You deserve to be shown.
He nods to a crewman who pushes a button. A wall panel moves aside to reveal a large view screen. An image appears with a lot of static, and the sound cuts in and out.
The tape was partially demagnetized as it was smuggled off of Saris's ship.
But through the static, we can make out an image. The former commander, in alien form, is strapped to a metal board. Each of his wrists and ankles is secured with mechanical devices and twisted in different directions.
Originally, one of our own tried to leave.
Sarah stands over the alien with a control panel.
Is that all? You have no more to confess to me? No? After 3 days of this, you still require incentive.
Saris moves switches on the panel. The device pulls at the alien's limbs, twisting them horribly. Bones crackle.
Say again, I've told you all I know. To my great shame, I've told you everything. If you have any mercy within you, please.
Oh, I shall. Oh, I shall. When I grow weary of the noises you make, my little plaything, be assured, you shall die.
Saris toys with his control panel. Mercifully, the screen fuzzes up with static, and we can only hear the bone-chilling screams that go like this.
Oh, God, no!
We pan around the table past Gwen, Alex, Tommy, Guy. Their mouths open in horror as they watch the screen. Camera stops on Jason. He stares, the blood draining from his face. The actors walk down the hallway behind Jason, panic.
We're leaving, Jason. We're leaving now.
Let me think. I need time to think.
He wants to think.
No, Jason. That's a wrap. There is nothing to think about.
Listen, I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm just crewman number 6. I'm expendable. I'm the guy in the episode who dies to prove that the situation is serious. I'm leaving now.
Mathazar runs up.
Commander.
Mathazar, I need you to prepare pods for my crew.
Your crew? What about you?
Begging your commander's pardon, sir, but we cannot launch pods at the moment. Ceres will surely detonate any objects leaving the ship. Yes, sir, he's here now. Your presence is required on the command deck.
Everyone is alarmed. At the command deck, the actors enter the empty deck, followed by Mathazar.
There's nobody here, Jason.
Mathazar, maybe we should get some of your crew up here.
I thank you for your consideration to our pride, but while my people are talented scientists, our attempts to operate our own technologies under tactical simulation have been disastrous.
He leans over to Gwen's computer station as she sits and pushes a button.
I have raised Ceres on Zeta frequency.
Great, thanks.
Still, Mathazar, your crew may nonetheless be helpful in certain...
But he is interrupted by the sight of Ceres appearing on the large view screen. Ceres now wears a metal eye patch and has a long scar across his cheek.
We meet again, Commander.
Yes, hi, Ceres. How you doing?
Better than my lieutenant. He failed to activate ship's neuron armor as quickly as I had hoped on our last encounter.
He brings into view a stake with the impaled head of his former lieutenant.
Right. Well, listen, I'm sorry about that whole thing before. It was kind of a misunderstanding. I'm sure we can work this out like reasonable people. How's that going to heal up? God, I hope so. I feel just awful about that.
Deliver the device now, or I will destroy your ship.
Listen, I'd like to, but frankly, I'm not even sure where it is or even...
You have 10 seconds.
All right, you got it. You win. I'll deliver it now. Just give me a moment to set it up.
Jason motions to Gwen to cut the transmission. She nods.
All right. Now, nobody panic. I've dealt with this guy before, and believe me, he's as stupid as he is ugly.
Jason.
We're going to fire everything we got at him, all right?
Jason.
You just keep pushing those buttons, those there. Yeah, send everything at him, okay?
Guy looks at the buttons labeled with icons of armaments.
Okay.
All right. Put me back on with him.
I'm trying to tell you, you are on with him.
Perhaps I'm not as stupid as I am ugly, Commander.
I made the cut the line gesture. You nodded okay.
I thought it was the weird dead gesture. I was agreeing, like I know where the whole button is.
Listen, Ceres, you can't blame me for trying.
Of course not.
Guys, red thingy moving toward the green thingy. Red thingy moving toward the green thingy.
What?
Guy motions to the radar screen. The red blip is about to impact.
I think we're the green thingy.
A present for you, Commander.
Shit. Turn, gun it. Get out of the...
The ship is pounded by a torpedo blast. Now, unlike the run back and forth, shake the camera explosions of the TV show, the result here is jarringly brutal, like side slamming a Hummer at 70 miles per hour. The entire crew goes flying from their positions and into the walls. The lights flicker. They exchange glances for the first time, bona fide fear in their eyes. This is real! Then another blast sends them crumpled against walls and objects like rag dolls. The pain is palpable as they try to get back to their stations.
We gotta get out of here.
Tommy looks at the sparkling map of lights on his dash.
Where?
Just go! Damn it, punch it, go!
Tommy punches the red button. They all hold on for dear life as the ship roars forward across the path of Ceres' ship.
Turning, they're coming!
Explosion! Boom!
The ship is sustaining structural damage.
Guys, we're sustaining structural damage!
Faster, Tommy. Get us out of here!
It's as far as it goes.
They're still behind us.
We should have a turbo. I'm always saying activate turbo boosters, right?
Could be this.
Push it. Hold it down.
He pushes it. The ship begins to vibrate.
The enemy is matching velocity.
The enemy is matching velocity!
We heard it the first time.
Shit! I'm doing it! I repeated it!
Drink! Suddenly, an image of Fred down in the generator room appears on the side view screen. He's taking it all in stride.
Hi, guys. Listen, they're telling me that the generators won't take it. The ship's breaking apart and all that, just FYI, and my kid is having a meltdown.
That sounds like something crying in a bagpipe.
Yeah, like it.
The view screen goes black. The ship roars forward.
We have got to stop.
We stop, we die. Keep holding the thruster, Tommy.
You don't hold a thruster down. It's for quick boosts.
Like you know.
The ship groans and creaks, then a loud klaxon sounds.
I remember that sound. That's a bad sound.
Jason looks forward. In the distance is an enormous mass.
Maybe we can lose him in that cloud.
I don't think that's a cloud.
As they approach, the cloud reveals itself to actually be thousands upon thousands of slowly rotating octahedrons.
Balthazar, what is that?
It's the Tothian minefield left standing from the Great War of 12485.
Their jaws drop.
May I get the check?
The ships are gaining.
Do your best, Tommy.
Oh, God!
The first mine hits, rocking the ship. Boom! Tommy swerves to avoid it, running into another mine, then another. Tommy couldn't do worse if he were aiming for them.
Could you possibly try
Boom!
not to hit
Boom!
every
Boom!
single
Boom!
one?
They're drifting towards me. I think they're magnetic.
The ship hurtles forward through the minefield, taking considerable damage as the mines impact. Pieces of the ship fall off behind it. Saris's ship. Saris watches the protector fly into the almost certain death of the minefield. His lieutenant flies ahead eagerly.
Patience
forward, sir. Oh.
Sorry. Patience, Lieutenant. Patience.
Command deck.
We're almost through. Come on, hold.
The ship is now vibrating horribly. It groans and creaks. Rivets start to pop, sending deadly projectiles flying.
What do I do?
Keep going.
And then suddenly a loud grinding noise, then silence. The vibrating stops. Gwen looks up from her radar screen.
What's happened?
The engines are dead. We're drifting.
Are they behind us?
No, I don't think so. Wait, they're not, but something is. Oh my God.
They look out the rear to see 24 magnetic mines bearing down on them in a cluster.
Down!
They barely have time to brace themselves as the ship is rocked by waves of explosions. They hit the floor and try to ride it out. It's brutal as fuck, y'all. The last of the mines explodes and the ship is sent tumbling lifelessly end over end through space. The exterior lights are dark, the once shiny hull now blackened and ragged. The deck looks dead and empty. Smoke is in the air. The lights are dim. The sirens have stopped. It's completely silent. The crew slowly emerges from behind panels and equipment, bruised and bloodied, and Jason moves to Gwen.
You all right? Tommy, where's Tommy?
They hear a groan. Tommy is crumpled against the wall, his arm twisted impossibly. He's in agony.
Oh, it's broke. Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'll take him to medical quarters.
They exit, limping. Alexander rises, moves past Jason. Blood trickles down his forehead in a mocking tone.
Go into the cloud.
Alex, where are you going?
To see if there's a pub.
He exits. The others turn to Jason, their faces sooty, their clothing torn and bloody. In the ship strategy room, the crew sits around, licking their wounds. Alexander nurses a blue beverage. Tommy examines a high-tech metallic cast on his arm.
Forward thruster shaft, 87% damage. Left vector guards, 96% damage. Level 5 structural breaches in quadrants 32, 34, 40, 43, 58.
The
Done.
engines?
Computer,
Drink.
what about our engines? Why don't we have power?
The beryllium sphere is fractured under stress.
It's fractured.
Be repaired?
Computer,
Drink.
can it be repaired?
Negative. The beryllium sphere will have to be replaced.
We need another one.
Shit, the beryllium sphere. That's bad.
You broke the ship. You broke the bloody ship. I told you not to hold down the turbo. You push it once, maybe twice for a boost. You don't hold it.
You have a replacement beryllium sphere on board?
Computer, do we have a replacement beryllium sphere on board?
Negative. No reserve beryllium sphere exists on board.
No, we don't have an extra beryllium sphere.
You know, that's really getting annoying.
I have one job on this lousy ship. It's stupid, but I'm going to do it. Got it?
Sure, no problem.
Suddenly, the door opens and 7 aliens enter, led by Mathazar. They look very serious. Guy exchanges an uh-oh glance with Tommy, but the aliens fall to one knee, lowering their heads.
1,000 apologies. We have failed you.
What? What are you talking about?
We have seen you victorious in many more desperate situations. The fault must lie with us, with the ship.
Gwen shoots Jason a glance. Tell them.
No, listen, Mathazar. It's not your fault. We're
not the people you think we are.
I don't understand.
Mathasar, don't you have television on your planet? Theater, films?
The historical.
Sure.
The historical documents of your culture. Yes, in fact, we have begun to document our own history from your example.
No, not historical documents.
Oh.
They're not all historical documents. I mean, surely you don't think Gilligan's Island is a...
Oh, those poor people.
They have to say that was my line.
That's my favorite line.
Yeah, that's
Drink on
that
that.
was a great one.
That's my favorite exchange.
Oh boy.
Does no one on your planet behave in a way that is contrary to reality?
Ah, you speak of deception, lies.
Sort of.
We have become aware of these concepts only recently. In our dealings with Saris, often Saris will say one thing and do another, promise us mercy and deliver destruction. It is a concept we are beginning to learn at some great cost. But if you are saying that you could have traits in common with Saris, ship. You are our protectors, our heroes. You will save us.
Suddenly, a view screen lights and we see Fred on the monitor from down in the generator room.
Hey, Commander, listen, we found some beryllium on a nearby planet. We might be able to help to get there if we reconfigure the solar matrix in parallel for endothermic propulsion. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely.
Fred turns to 2 young techs next to him, then licks and sticks in 2 sticky gold stars onto their wrists.
Correct. Gold star for you and a gold star for you.
The ship lumbers forward. In the distance, we see the swirling globe of a colorful and mysterious planet. Jason, Gwen, Tommy, Fred, and Guy enter the small surface pod in the bay. Quillick, Alexander's protege, steps forward and hands Alex a device.
Dr. Lazarus, here is your surface mapper. I have programmed it to the coordinates of a beryllium sphere of sufficient density.
Thanks.
Good luck on your mission, sir. By Grabthar's hammer, by the sons of Warvet, I wish you...
what did we talk about?
Right. Sorry, sir.
Tommy pilots the craft as the pod approaches the beautiful and mysterious planet. Guy looks out the window nervously.
I changed my mind. I want to go back.
After the big fuss you made about not getting left behind on the ship?
Yeah, but that's when I thought maybe I was the crewman that stays on the ship and something is up there and it kills me. But now I'm thinking I'm the guy who gets killed by some monster 5 minutes after we land on the planet.
Guy, you're not going to get killed on the planet, okay?
Oh, I'm not? I'm not? Then what's my last name?
Your last name?
Yeah. What is it?
It's, I don't know.
No, nobody does. Do you know why? Because my character isn't important enough for a last name. Because I'm going to die 5 minutes in. Why bother come up with a last name for me?
Guy, you have a last name. We just don't know it.
Do I? Do I? For all you know, I'm just crewman number 6. Okay, It's Fleegman! Guy Fleegman there! Now I'm a whole person! I can't die! Fleegman! They can't kill me now, can they? Can they?
Jason slaps him.
See, I'm the hysterical guy who needs to be slapped and then I die!
We're there yet.
The pod makes its way towards the surface. The ship shakes as it lands. Everyone exchanges anxious glances. As they sit down, everyone applauds, complimenting Tommy on the landing. Tommy looks away, shamed.
Autopilot.
Everyone looks away, disappointed. Suddenly, the hatch opens with a loud of air compression. Fred has opened it.
What do you do? You don't just open the door. It's an alien planet. Is there air? You know? Do you?
Seems okay.
The six exit the craft tentatively. Guy looks around, apprehensive.
Which way, Alex?
This way. Wait. No, that way.
You were holding it upside down, weren't you?
Shut up.
You know, with the makeup and everything, I actually thought he was smart for a second.
You think you could do better, Laredo?
Hey, watch that Laredo shit.
We're screwed. We are so screwed.
All right, let's all just settle down. If we're gonna get through this, we're gonna have to exercise self-control.
Self-control? Oh, that's funny coming from the guy who slept with every moon princess and Tarakian slave girl on the show.
Been a little more supportive. You could have held on to me.
I could have held on to you.
We're really going to do this here?
Rocky Incline, Spookyville. It's darker here, more menacing. Jagged cliff overhangs from spooky shapes. Guy looks around nervously.
How much further?
Alexander measures the distance on the device.
About this much.
What's the scale? Is that 10 miles? Is that 100 miles?
This much.
Guy glances back to see the rocky trench they just passed through. The rock shapes jutting from the walls look vaguely like arms and hands. Suddenly, Guy yells as he drops out of frame. The others turn to see him on the ground struggling, his foot lodged in a crevice in the landscape.
It's got me! It's got me! See? 5 minutes, I told you!
Jason runs back and starts to help extricate Guy. He pulls his foot free and looks around.
Something grabbed me. It did!
The others shake their heads and continue forward. Guy rises, trying to put his shoe back on as he runs to catch up.
Easy, son. It's just your imagination. Hang tough.
You're playing your good side.
Don't be ridiculous.
And note the sucked in gut.
Sleeves rolled halfway up the biceps.
It's a rugged pose. It's the rugged pose.
They all nod in agreement. Jason is about to object when suddenly everyone is stopped in their tracks by spooky alien whispering and the sound of critters climbing around the surrounding cliffs.
That's it. That's what's going to kill me.
Pick up the pace a little, shall we?
They climb to the crest out of breath. Guy arrives last. They clear the ridge and look down onto the valley, a mining outpost. Below there is a small, abandoned mining facility. Wind whistles through various structures and power stations. In the center of the outpost sits a large shimmering boulder.
There it is. The beryllium sphere.
Must be some sort of mining facility.
So where are the miners?
Something bad happened here.
Will you relax?
Suddenly, they become aware of a small blue creature emerging from one of the structures. It's blue and looks somewhat like a human child. It moves to a small pool of water and begins drinking. Its movements are very quiet and tentative. There are a few more blue children emerge and join the first.
Will you look at that? They look like little children.
Could they be miners?
Sure. They're like 3 years old.
Miners, not minors.
Continue.
I don't like this.
You okay, Alex?
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Oh, they're so cute.
Of course they're cute now, but in a second they're going to turn mean and ugly somehow, and then there are going to be a million more of them.
Then another blue creature emerges. This one limps. Its leg is hurt. It moves forward, dragging its bad foot along the ground, making noise.
Oh, it's hurt.
Oh, it's just what they want you to think.
Yeah. Hi there, little guy.
Guy pushes her down behind the rock before the creatures notice.
Jesus, didn't any of you guys watch the show?
The blue children turn toward Limpy and begin whispering in an alien tongue.
Gordon,
Would you look? They're helping the hurt one.
Indeed, the others move to the hurt creature, cocking their heads to the side empathetically. Then suddenly, we see the aliens smile with sharp razor teeth, their mouths spreading out impossibly on their faces. They descend on Limpy, ripping him apart. We only see a geyser of blood from the center of the blue circle. Our group is silent, horrified.
I am so sick of being right.
Yeah. Let's get out of here before one of those things kills Guy.
That's my favorite line.
There you go.
Clarke, you had my favorite line.
That scene still scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And the way she delivers it too, with like running back. We got her with the thing that killed Guy. Like that's great.
Well, we got to get that sphere, or we aren't going anywhere.
They nod.
All right. Here's the plan. First, Fred. We need a diversion to clear those things out of the compound. Then Gwen, Alex, Fred, and I go down to the sphere. Any of those things come back, just give a signal. Guy, you set up the perimeter.
Why does this sound so familiar?
Assault on Volterek 3, episode 31, I think.
We're doing episode 31?
Whatever, the one with the hologram, the wall of fire.
How the hell is Fred supposed to project a hologram?
We're doing episode 31, Jason?
Doesn't have to be a hologram, just a diversion.
Jason, are we doing episode 31 or not?
It's a rough plan. Guy, what does it matter if we're doing episode 31 or not?
Because I died in episode 31!
This is ludicrous. Why are you listening to this man? Must I remind you that he's wearing a costume, not a uniform? He's no more equipped to lead us than this fellow. No offense.
You have a better plan, Alex?
As a matter of fact, I do. Look at their eyes. They're obviously nocturnal. Come sundown, they'll go into the forest to hunt. So our plan is to simply wait for nightfall instead of mounting an insane assault in full daylight simply because we did it that way in episode 31.
The others look convinced. Jason looks down defeated. Everyone starts to settle in. 2 hours later, the sun is setting. Everyone rises to begin their assault as the last glow sinks into the horizon. They start forward when the second sun, the big one, rises up behind them, lighting the planet brightly. The actors turn to Alexander, who looks away sheepishly. Jason smiles vindicated and stands back in charge.
As I was saying, Fred, we need some sort of diversion, some sort of hologram or optical illusion or...
A hologram.
Never mind.
No, I'll think on it.
Jason, look.
They all look down to see that the blue demons have already deserted the complex.
They're gone.
They go back inside?
I don't know.
Nobody was watching.
All right, Gwen, Alex, Fred, you follow me. Guy, set up the perimeter. Tommy, you keep a lookout. Make a signal if they come back.
What kind of signal?
Anything.
Okay, I'll do this.
Tommy, we have these.
He motions to the Vox.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Okay, let's go.
Jason, Gwen, Alex, and Fred start down the hillside, leaving Tommy and Guy alone. They stand there for a second, looking at each other.
You have no idea what a perimeter is, do you?
Not a clue. You?
I think he just likes pointing at things.
Down the ridge, Jason is in full action mode. He uses dramatic commando tactics he's acted on the show, such as ducking behind a rock, peeking out, rolling on the ground to the next rock. Gwen, Alex, and Fred just stroll down casually behind him.
So how does the rolling help, actually?
My favorite line.
That's a lie.
Judgy?
I'm so sleepy, that's all. Enough with the drinking.
It helps. It helps.
Where's your gun?
He pats his hip. The gun is gone. It has obviously fallen over the cliff in his roll.
It helps.
The clearing on the ridge. Tommy keeps a lookout through the binoculars. Below, Jason and the others sneak into the compound and head toward the sphere. The abandoned compound is spooky. A battered metal door sways in the wind with a creak.
Those blue things ate everybody here?
It doesn't make sense. Surely there could be fortified the compound against those creatures.
Fred passes a metal console with a number of broken view screens. One, however, is partially intact. Fred pushes a button and the view screen lights up with a blurry video playback of mayhem. Through a dust storm, we see a number of alien miners run panic through the compound. We hear thunderous crashes like footsteps. A terrified miner, face wrapped in cloth except for the eyes, stares into the camera, mumbling, out of his mind with fear.
Correct. Correct.
Anybody want to wait around to find out what Garignac is? Let's do this.
Clenched jaw.
Will you stop riding me?
On the ridge, Tommy looks down into the compound with binoculars to see Jason and the others below moving toward the beryllium sphere. He spans to the compound. Good. No blue children.
I know what it is. I know what it is. It's not what's on the planet. It is the planet.
As Guy continues to babble his theory, Tommy pans back and forth between Jason and the others at the sphere and the deserted complex. Jason and the others start to roll the sphere. It moves forward with a rumble. We pan over to see a blue hand emerge from one of the structures. Tommy looks concerned.
There's a life force here. The blue things. Did you see how they moved? Careful. Quiet. Like they didn't want something disturbed.
Tommy's POV from the sphere rumbling forward to the demon children emerging from the mining structures.
Oh, shit.
Jason and the others strain to push the boulder toward the incline.
Come on, push. Never give up. Never surrender.
Oh, shut up.
Suddenly, they all freeze as they notice the returning demons. The monsters gather around them, forming a vicious circle of slavering teeth. Silence for a beat, then.
Me.
Suddenly, a series of magneto pistol blasts ring out, melting random pieces of equipment, walls, and putting holes in the walkways. The aliens scatter for cover. Gwen and the others turn to see Tommy coming with a gun in his hand, followed by Guy.
Sorry, guys. It just went off.
Good work, Tommy. Let's go.
They push over the cliff. They push over the lip of the incline and it starts to roll on its own. Jason and the others run with all their might to keep up with the sphere. Jason looks over his shoulder, then runs forward.
Don't look back. Do not look back.
Gwen can't resist. She looks back to see hundreds of blue demons coming over the hillside like a tidal wave. Near the surface pod, the actors roll the sphere to the pod and up the pod ramp. But the boulder now blocks the pod door. Gwen helps Guy inside, then squeezes through herself, followed by Tommy, Alexander, and Jason, both motion each other forward.
Go ahead.
You go first. There's no time.
Oh, of course. I forgot you have to be the hero, don't you? Heaven forbid someone else gets the spotlight once. Oh no, Jason Nesmith couldn't possibly.
Jason cold cocks him, knocking him unconscious and lifts him through, then starts to squeeze through himself. The surface pod.
Tommy, I'm in. Push, go now.
Tommy pushes the button and suddenly Jason is grabbed by the ankle by 5 pairs of demon hands and dragged back outside just as the door closes behind him.
Tommy, stop the pod! Stop the pod!
I can't. It's on autopilot.
As the pod ascends, they all move to the window to watch horrified as Jason disappears into the middle of the huge blue mob that surrounds him. Alexander regains consciousness and looks around.
He knocked me out, the son of a bitch. Where is he?
Down there.
Oh, right, of course. It's always about you, isn't it?
Back at the surface, Jason is surrounded by the menacing demons who stare down at him with their chilling smiles. Their strange whispered language is translated into subtitles.
What do you suppose it is?
Don't know. Strange. It looks like a child.
What should I do?
Hit it with a rock. Then we'll eat it.
Demon 1 lifts a rock, and Jason doesn't have time to object before the demon clubs him. They lean in, their mouths opening for the kill when a shadow washes over them. A blue demon looks up over his shoulder, terrified. He whispers a meek,
Corrignac.
The surface pod bay. The pod door opens, and Gwen, Alex, and the others exit out of breath. They're greeted 3 of the generator room techs, as well as Teb.
We got the sphere, but the commander's down there with a bunch of cannibals. Teb, reset the pod. We're going back.
That thing's not going to get us down there fast enough. Face it, he's dead.
Wait, Ren, what about your thing? You know, digitize me, Surgeon Chen.
The digital conveyor.
Of course. We'll just zap him up with the digital conveyor.
Do we have one of those things, Tab?
Teb nods. They exit running, and Fred looks a little unsure. The corridor. Gwen, Alex, Fred, Tommy, Guy, and the technician Teb run down the hallway. Huffing, Alex turns to Gwen.
You said the commander.
What?
Back there, you said the commander is down there with a bunch of cannibals.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I heard it too.
Is this really the most important thing we could be talking about right now?
The planet surface. Jason lies unconscious on the ground, and we hear a snort and see his shoulder moved by a large alien snout. Jason opens his eyes to see a grunting beast, like an oversized pig, but somewhat reptilian. From above, along the rock walls, Jason can hear the sound of the blue demons whispering. Jason rises quickly, reaches for his gun, but it's gone. Looking for a weapon, he quickly removes his shirt and snaps it at the beast, trying to drive it away. The beast chomps at him, holding his territory, and suddenly Gwen's voice sounds.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Gwen, Alexander, and the others watch Jason on a view screen.
Oh, thank God. Are you okay?
Yeah, but I've got Garignac staring me in the face. I think I can take it, though.
Jason, we're going to use the digital conveyor to get you out of there.
Jason swipes at the pig lizard. It hisses at him petulantly.
The digital conveyor? You mean I'm going to get diced into cubes and sorted up there in 1,000 pieces?
Right.
Yeah, I think I'll take my chances with Garignac.
The pig lizard leaps at Jason. Jason throws a rock at it.
Jason, we've got to get you out of there. It's perfectly safe, isn't it, Ted?
It has never been successfully tested.
Wait, what? What did he say?
Nothing. Hold, please.
Theoretically, the mechanism is fully operational. However, it was built to accommodate your anatomy, not ours. Our actual hands are six-fingered and jointed 90 degrees to yours. But now that Sergeant Chen is here, he can operate it. It was designed watching his motions from the historical records.
Drink. Everyone turns to Fred. For the first time, he looks a little apprehensive. He laughs nervously.
Well, I mean, I can supervise, of course, but...
Jason, we're going to test it.
Okay. Wait, on what? How about the pig lizard?
Hey, I was doing okay with the pig lizard. Oh, that's not even my line.
Tommy.
Hey, I was not great.
Alexander and the others move aside to let Fred at the control panel. The controls are complicated and fit Fred's hand like metal gloves. Teb gasps as he grasps the controls.
I'm sorry. It is very exciting to see the master at the controls. The operation of the conveyor is more art than science.
Fred moves his hands and the creature is targeted at crosshairs of the instrumental panel. He slowly twists his wrist as he manipulates the lever cautiously, and on the planet's surface, the pig lizard digitizes and disappears. In the conveyor room, everyone looks very impressed. Fred starts to smile, no sweat, as the creature rematerializes on the platform, but something is very wrong. We hear the thing's horrible squeals over the disgusted reactions of the crew.
What?
Nothing.
I heard something. A squeal.
Oh, no. Everything's fine.
But the animal is inside out.
I heard that. It's inside out.
Then the monstrous remains of the creature explodes.
And it exploded.
Wait, did I just hear that it came back inside out and then exploded? Hello?
Hold, please.
Jason looks up to the rock ledge. The unseen demons continue to chant, Garignac, Garignac.
Wait, the pig lizard is gone, so why are they still chanting for the pig lizard?
Turn on the translation circuit.
Teb flicks the switch and we hear the demons in English.
Rock.
Suddenly, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson appeared. No. Suddenly, Dwayne and the others notice that the entire rock face behind Jason moves slightly like a gigantic or granite musculature. Jason, facing forward, doesn't see it.
Jason? I don't think the pig lizard was Garignac.
What the hell are you talking about?
Behind Jason, the boulders in the wall begin moving forward, emerging from the rock face, and a giant emerges, a monster made of granite. Jason turns slowly with a feeling of dread as he hears the rumbling sound of the monster's body freeing itself from the rock face around it.
Oh, darn.
He takes a step back, holding his puny wooden spear. The rock monster steps forward 20 feet tall, its face mostly featureless yet ominous and determined and upset, and it heads straight for Jason.
Guys, digitize me.
Jason backs away slowly around the corner, but the monster follows. Crunch, crunch, forward.
Guys!
Fred looks genuinely distressed.
Come on, Fred. They based it on your hand movements.
Fred backs away, terror in his face. He starts talking to himself nervously.
all my professional life, they'd say, "Can you ride a horse, Fred?" And I'd say, "Of course, since I was a boy." "Can you fence, Fred?" "Funny you should ask. I've won 6 international competitions." I learned never to say I can't do this. You don't get the part if you say I can't do this, but this is life or death. May God forgive me if Jason, but I can't do this.
Jason is in a full-out run being chased by the rock monster, which stomps forward, demolishing everything in his path.
Fred's no good, Jason. You're going to have to kill it.
Kill it? Well, yeah, I'm open to ideas.
Go for the eyes, like in episode 22 with the...
It doesn't have eyes.
The throat, the mouth, it's vulnerable spots.
It's a rock. Doesn't have vulnerable spots.
I know. You construct a weapon. Look around. Can you form some sort of rudimentary lathe?
A lathe.
That's my favorite line. This is one of the greatest screenplays.
Yeah, it's so good.
This movie is amazing. I'm really glad we're doing it.
Perfect films. It's a perfect film.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal.
Brilliant.
The monster's shadow falls over Jason.
Alexander, please, you're my advisor. Advise me.
Well, you'll have to figure out what it wants. What's its motivation?
It's a damn rock monster. Doesn't have motivation.
Oh, that's your problem. You were never serious about craft. I'm a rock. I just want to be a rock. Still, peaceful, tranquil. What's this? Something's making noise. No, not noise. No movement. Vibrations make the vibrations stop. They go straight into me like a knife. I must crush the thing that makes the vibrations.
Crazy, or do you actually have something there?
Jason reaches down and grabs a handful of small rocks, but at that moment, the rock monster reaches down and grabs him in his fist. Jason is carried into the air and dangled above the beast's mouth. Jason keeps his composure enough to toss one of the rocks at a natural rocky overhang along one wall. The thrown rocks dislodge a few more rocks in the wall, which tumble to the ground, making noise. The rock monster turns towards the sound. The monster drops Jason. Jason lands, throws another rock. The monster charges towards the wall, causing an avalanche, burying the monster. All is still. In the ship, the actors cheer, but their relief is short-lived, as on the planet, the rubble reforms and the monster emerges ever larger than before. It begins to make a beeline for a perplexed Jason.
But I'm not moving. Oh no. My heartbeat.
In the rock monster's POV, we head toward Jason and hear Jason's heartbeat magnified like a drum.
Fred, can you hear me? You got to do this, man. It's up to you.
No, I'll kill you.
Listen, Fred, you did this for years, for 4 years on the show. You can do it now. Put your hands on the controls.
Fred puts his trembling hands on the controls as sweat pours down.
I don't know.
Fred, I worked summer stock with Hopkins, regional theater with Hoffman. But I swear to God, I have never met an actor who can hit his mark or nail his lines with the professional consistency of a Freddie Kwan. You're Mr. Dependable. You can do this.
You worked with Hopkins? I worship Hopkins.
Fred draws confidence from these words. The monster is upon Jason. It raises its fist.
Digitize me, Fred!
A moment of concentration as everybody holds their breath, and then Fred works the controls. Jason is still there, and the monster smashes down his fist right down onto Jason at the very moment he digitizes. The fist goes right through the scattering blocks. Everybody on ship holds their breath and watches the digitizing platform. Jason's body instantly ducks and contorts to avoid the rock fist that moments ago descended upon him. Everyone runs up to him as he regains his composure, celebrating, hugging him, and patting him on the back. Even Alexander looks relieved, but won't admit it.
Oh, Aaron walked away for his...
Oh, that's what
This is big
Aaron walked
line.
away for the killer line.
On the count of three, everyone yell for Aaron. 1,
Aaron!
2,
Aaron! I'm so sorry. Where are we?
I see you.
I see you managed to get
78.
your shirt off.
You managed to get your shirt off.
I
Jason
see you
looks
managed
over-
to get your shirt off.
My favorite line.
There you go.
Someone's favorite line?
My favorite line.
Jason looks over and sees Fred still at the controls, drenched. He moves to him and shakes his trembling hand.
As good as Hopkins?
Hopkins can't drink your bathwater, Fred.
That might be my favorite line.
That's pretty good.
It didn't make the movie, but it's a good line.
Neither did that Stella Adler line, but that Stella Adler line was gold.
Yeah. Well, it is for everybody who lives in Hollywood, at least.
Right.
Did Anthony Hopkins do summer stock though? I don't know.
All right, folks, let's get the hell out of here. Mathazar, we're back up and on our way to command deck. Mathazar, come in, Mathazar. Teb, Clarke, what's going on? Where is everybody?
Gwen pushes a button on the monitors to see Saris's ship outside. Gwen punches another button and video panels light up, showing Saris's men all over the ship. In the generator room, the hallways, the command deck, and infestation.
No!
Oh, we got to get out of here. Come on, hurry.
But as they head toward the door, it opens, revealing Saris and a dozen of his men, guns drawn. The actors back away, except for Jason, who stands his ground as Saris approaches.
Listen, Saris, just hold on.
But Saris backhands him brutally. Jason crashes to the floor. Jason starts to stand, wiping blood from his mouth, but with a nod from Saris, 6 of his men surround Jason and begin to kick and beat him on the ground brutally. In the barracks, prison. The row of barracks down the long hallway have been converted to prison cells. From inside these, the hundreds of captured aliens watch in despair as Jason, bloody and beaten, is led down the corridor. Saris, his guards, and the other crew members follow behind. Weak and semi-conscious from the beating, Jason stumbles and falls. Saris produces a device and applies it to Jason's neck. Jason cries out. His entire body convulses. The aliens push against the cell doors to come to his aid, but the guards beat them back mercilessly.
If you cannot walk, Commander, then I suggest you crawl.
Jason hesitates. Sarah shocks him again. Jason finally rises and slowly begins to crawl forward. Everyone is silent, numb. In the medical deck, the area has been converted into an interrogation chamber. Jason is led in with the others. Sarah's men interrogate a man strapped to a table. They move aside to reveal Mathazar, barely alive. But as he sees Jason, a ray of hope lights up behind his eyes. He smiles.
Commander, thank God you're alive. Now you will face justice, Sarah.
At every turn, you demonstrate the necessity for extermination, the qualities of your species, ridiculous optimism, like little children, building, always building. But what you need, spend years to create, I take from you in days. Do you wish to save this man's life, Commander, and the life of your crew?
Did he say yes and we didn't hear it?
Yes?
I think he's waiting a beat. He's waiting a beat.
A very long beat.
Then tell me one thing. What does it do? The device, the Omega-13.
I don't know.
Saris twists the dial. Mathazar writhes in pain on the table.
Is it a bomb? A booby trap? Tell me.
Stop, please. I don't know.
Prepare a tear harness for the female.
No, I swear I don't know, please.
Do you think I'm a fool? That the commander does not know every bolt, every weld of his ship?
Gwen fights the guards valiantly as they drag her to a table.
But I'm not the commander.
Saris turns, interested. He motions his guards to halt.
Wait, what did you say?
Please, just don't hurt them. It's not their fault. I'm not the commander. I don't know anything.
Mathazar looks at him bewildered. Saris looks intrigued.
Explain.
Gwen, the show, there's no choice. Just do it.
Computer. Play the historical records of the Galaxy Quest missions.
A screen lights up with the opening of the first Galaxy Quest episode. We see the various actors in their roles, freeze-framed in action poses, intercut with the ship speeding through space. Saris watches, captivated. Realization dawns on his face. He begins to laugh. Saris turns to Mathazar, beaten and bloody, but hope lighting in his eyes as he watches the show. That tickles Saris even more. He roars with laughter.
Oh, this is wonderful. Wonderful. I treated you as a foe, but no. You have done greater damage to these poor fools than I ever could have. Bravo. Bravo.
He puts his arm around Jason and leads him to face Mathazar.
Tell him, this is a moment I will treasure. Explain who you really are.
I'm an actor. We're all actors.
Our dim-witted friends don't understand the concept of acting. They have no theater, no imagination, these scientists.
We pretend.
Simpler.
We lie.
Yes. You understand that, don't you, Mathesar?
Not a commander. There's no National Space Exploration Administration. There is no ship.
But there it is.
A model. It's only as big as this.
But inside I have seen many rooms.
Sections of rooms. They're made from plywood. Our beryllium sphere was painted wire and plaster. The digital conveyor was Christmas lights. Decorations. It's all fake. I'm not him. I'm nothing. Nobody.
What?
It's difficult to. On our planet, we pretend in order to entertain. That's how I make my living, pretending to be somebody else. Pretending to be Commander Peter Quincy Taggart. I'm so sorry, Mathesar.
Now you know. This entire world you've concocted, all based on nothing. Your beliefs, your hopes, all a dream. A wisp of smoke. Now there is only pain. Lieutenant Lath, I confess I am beginning to feel a bit foolish myself, chasing across the universe to obtain what is, I am now certain, a bauble of fiction. Tell me how best to obliterate this vessel. I would like nothing to remain.
The core could be hardwired to overload without much effort.
There is. What about my men?
Yes, you're right. Much too easy a death for trouble you have caused me. Lieutenant, open a vent on level C and let the outside in a bit for our friends.
Enraged, Jason lunges for Saris, but his men quickly beat him down brutally.
I guess an actor is not the same as a commander after all.
He turns to his guard, motioning to Jason and the others.
Release them, Sergeant. Into space.
The guard nods and escorts them out. Saris turns to Mathesar and raises the torture control with a sick smile. In the airlock chamber.
Core overload. Emergency shutdown overridden. Core implosion estimated in 9 minutes.
Jason and the others enter, escorted by the guards. Guard 1 pushes a button and the airlock door opens with a whoosh.
You two go.
Jason and Alex start toward the airlock. Jason simply hangs his head.
Well, how does it feel, Jason? Was it worth it? Hundreds of innocents to die because of you. How does it feel?
Get in. Hurry up.
They enter the airlock.
Hundreds dead, all so you could play at being the commander. You've murdered us all, you egomaniacal son of a bitch.
Shut up! Just shut up, you purple skin monstrosity!
Alexander lunges at Jason, striking him in the face. They tumble outside of the airlock fighting. The guards smile, enjoying the fight. Jason quickly overpowers Alexander and punches him repeatedly, his anger taking hold. They lock in a mutual strangulation hold. Then Jason pulls free. He grabs Alex by the collar and pulls him back for the crowning blow and deals a punisher right past Alexander into the face of guard 1. Alexander turns astonished, realizing it's all an act. A flash of an appreciative smile. Then he elbows guard 2 in the face. The second guard's gun goes skittering into the airlock as he drops unconscious. Guard 1 dives into the airlock to retrieve the gun, aims at Jason, and suddenly the inner door slams shut, and an instant later the outer door opens. His gunshots ricochet against the glass as the guard is whisked through the hole into space, flailing silently into the vacuum. Everyone turns to see Fred taking his finger off the airlock button.
A little sticky. I'll get one of my boys up here with a can of WD-40.
Purple skin monstrosity.
I was staying in character. Egomaniacal son of a bitch.
Sense memory. I see you got to win the fight.
I had the shot.
Guys.
She motions to a row of security monitors. One labeled Environmental Systems Deck Sea Level shows 4 of Saris's men straining at a large circular valve. On another monitor, we see debris rushing up to a vent in the barracks area as air is sucked out of the aliens' prison. Teb and the other aliens pull on their prison bars in horror.
Let's go.
In the corridor, the 6 of them run down the hallway. Jason stops them and they duck into the alcove as a unit of Ceres's men jog past.
Core implosion in 4 minutes.
Go on, give it a try, Gwen.
Computer.
Drink. Yeah.
God damn it.
Shut down the core.
Unable. Memory checksum invalid. Core systems hardware damaged.
All right, guys. Gwen and I are going to have to get to the core and shut it down manually. Fred, you and Guy, get to that air valve back on.
Drake!
You and Guy need to get that air valve back on. Alex, see if you can get the prison doors open downstairs in case Fred and Guy can't get the oxygen back in time.
Jason, what about me? What do I do?
Practice driving, Tommy.
They all split up.
Practice driving.
Gwen and Jason hurry down the hallway, keeping a lookout for Ceres's guards.
So we get to shut down the neutron. Neutron reactor.
Hank.
Right. Right.
I hate to break it to you, Jason, but I don't know how to shut down the neutron reactor. And unless you took a learning annex course I don't know about, I'm pretty sure you don't know how to shut down a neutron reactor either.
No, I don't. But I know someone who does.
Brandon's house, Tarzana. Birds chirp outside pleasantly. Brandon's bedroom, the room of our #1 Galaxy Quest fan. The 14-year-old sits at his computer in uniform, gluing a tiny piece of plastic to his model of the Protector. A knock on the door, and his mother enters.
Brandon.
Mother, I'm quite busy, as you can see. The C-rings on the boosters unit came broken in the mail.
Well, I'm sorry. I made brownies.
Mother, I'm very busy. Well, maybe one. Thank you.
She exits. Brandon looks at his model with a sigh. Suddenly he hears a familiar tone. He cocks his head and turns to the interstellar Vox sitting on his table. He starts to turn away, but it beeps again. Slowly he reaches out, takes it in his hand, and flips the switch. We hear Jason's voice.
Hello? Hello, is anyone there?
Brandon stares at the thing, then looks around his room for signs of a practical joke. He speaks into it.
Hello?
Jason, holding his Vox, nods to Gwen. Got him.
Hey, this is Jason Nesmith. I play Commander Peter Quincy Taggart of the NSCA Protector.
Yes?
We accidentally traded Vox units when we bumped into each other on Saturday.
Oh, I see.
What's your name, son?
Brandon.
Brandon. I remember you from the convention, right? You had a lot of little technical observations about the ship, and I spoke sharply to you.
Yes, I know, and I wanted you to know that I thought about what you said. I know you meant it constructively, but
it's okay. Listen.
No, but I want you to know that I'm not just a complete brain case, okay? I understand completely that it's just a TV show. There's no ship. There's no beryllium sphere, no digital conveyor. I mean, obviously, it's all just...
No, it's real. Brandon, all of it. It's real.
I knew it!
Brandon, the crew and I are in trouble. We need your help.
The look on Brandon's face is indescribable. At the medical quarters, Ceres's first lieutenant Lathe enters.
No, your transport is ready for departure.
Ceres turns to exit, leaving Mathzor on the table unconscious. Next to him on a view screen image shows the aliens in their cells pulling at the bars. Some are already unconscious from the lack of oxygen. In the media room, Tommy, all alone, peeks into the room to make sure it is empty, then enters and moves to a high-tech case. He pushes a button and a panel moves aside, revealing a complete library of the Galaxy Quest episodes. Like a high-tech shrine, Tommy moves his finger across the selections, picking one episode in particular with a smile. In the ship corridor, Alexander makes his way down the hall stealthily, avoiding Ceres's guard. He stops as he hears a noise from a utility department to his side. Stealing his nerve, he opens the door and suddenly a figure jumps out. Both of them assume defensive stances, then Alexander recognizes him as Quellic, his young protege. Quellic beams.
Sir, it's you. Thank Ifthar.
Quellic, what are you doing here?
I avoided capture using the Mokhtar stealth haze. Where is everyone?
Come with me. I'll explain on the way.
Gwen and Jason turn a corner and stop, and Jason speaks to Vox.
Okay, we're in C deck hallway 5. What now?
Brandon inserts a Galaxy Quest CD-ROM labeled Technical Systems into his computer. A couple of clicks later, a 3D wireframe diagram of the ship appears.
Okay, There's a hatch on the port wall. It leads to the system of the utility corridors through the bowels of the ship.
Jason searches in vain for the hatch.
No hatch. There's no hatch.
Oh, wait. Jason, here.
Gwen pushes a concealed button and the side slats open.
Okay, we got it.
Okay. You can go in. I'm going to get Kyle. He knows the utility tunnel system better than anybody alive.
Brandon punches some keys and Kyle pops up in a little QC me window on the computer. See me window on the computer.
Hi, Brandon.
No time for pleasantries, Kyle. We have a level 5 emergency. The commander needs us to get him to the core and shut it down before it overloads.
Oh, okay.
You got the utility system walkthrough, right?
Yeah, I've got sectors 1 through 28. I think Hector has the upper levels.
We better get everybody online. And Kyle, stop downloading porn. Your frame rate is unacceptable.
An obviously fake nude picture of Gwen as Tawny Madison downloads slowly onto his screen.
I'm not downloading porn.
Fred and Guy make their way down the corridor, checking the numbered sectors as they pass.
Good cat.
Okay. Sector 38, 39, 40. This is it. The environmental systems are in here. All we have to do is shut off the valve to the barracks.
They look through the window into the room to see 100 of Saris's men sitting inside, surrounding the large circular wheel that controls the valve. Fred exchanges a look with Guy. All we have to do. In the media room, Tommy sits on the desk watching an episode of Galaxy Quest play on the screen. The scene is young Laredo piloting the ship, dodging and weaving through a very silly giant paper mache monster floating in space. But Tommy is dead serious. He watches himself on the tape, mimicking his own piloting moves, using miscellaneous objects on the table as he controls and repeating his 80s catchphrase along with his alter ego.
Pedal to the metal, Commander.
Jason and Gwen run through the tunnel system.
Okay, now left at the next turn. Pass the oxygen units, make a right there, then go the antimatter vent.
Okay. Now what?
Sorry, I was drinking because I fucked that up. Now make a right. You'll see a doorway that opens to the central manufacturing facility, the bowels of the ship.
Central manufacturing cavern, Dante's Inferno. Down below, a huge automated facility for ship construction and maintenance. Moving elevators and conveyor belts move through a maze of scaffolding and overhangs. Glowing rivers of molten metal run past giant swinging hammers, robot arms, and crushing machines.
Commander, do you have a camera? I'd die to see this in person. All they showed on TV was a machine here and a wall here, and I don't know why they didn't show the whole thing.
We'd never have a budget for all this.
Okay, so do you see the door marked core unit? Should be down at the far end to your left.
On the other side of the room, down a circuitous path through a dangerous gauntlet of machinery, Jason spots such a door.
Yes?
Okay, that's where you want to be.
Corridor outside the prison. Alexander and Clarke arrive at the prison area hatch and look through the window. In their cells, many of the aliens are already unconscious. Others valiantly attempt to open their cells with crudely constructed levers and battering rams to no avail. Alex tries to open the door to no avail.
They're dying.
Here, help me tear this down. We can use it as a battering ram.
Quellic follows Alexander to a console, looking back at the prison. Alexander puts his hand on his shoulder.
Don't worry, Quellic. It'll be okay.
Quellic seems comforted, but Alexander isn't too sure. Fred and Guy continue to watch Saris's men still surrounding the main valve.
We've got to get that valve turned off. Their oxygen is almost gone.
Listen, I'll go in, create a distraction. I have this. I may be able to hold them back long enough for the aliens to escape.
It's suicide.
I'm just a glorified extra, Fred. I'm a dead man anyway. If I'm gonna die, I'd rather go out a hero than a coward.
Maybe you're the plucky comic relief. Guy, you ever think of that?
Guy cocks his head. No head of that. Fred pats his shoulder.
Besides, I just had a really interesting idea.
Sarah stands at the observation window as the transport makes its way towards the ship. All but one of the other ships have left the area, and that ship is turning and heading toward a black hole in the distance. The transport chief next to him gets a message on his earpiece.
The Falcon 3 is launched and away. Course set for Zactor Minor. Falcon 1 ahead. 4 minutes to core overload.
Good. All is in its place.
General, I've just received word that the commander of the Protector and his command crew have escaped custody. Their whereabouts are unknown.
What?
Suddenly, a lifeless body crashes against the windshield like a bug. It's Saris's jettisoned guard.
Find them!
But sir, my men, the core implosion is not reversible.
Find them!
Jason and Gwen make their way along a narrow catwalk above the manufacturing floor. A row of robot arms behind them move erratically.
We've cleared the robot arms. Now what?
Brandon now has his whole crew on separate windows of his computer screen, including fan Caitlin wearing a Tawny Madison outfit.
Okay, Brandon. As I calculated, the shortest route is down the ladder near the quark accelerators.
I concur. Yes,
right.
that sounds
right.
good to me.
He's right. Very good.
High five, Caitlin.
He and the others high five, slapping their computer screens. Jason and Gwen make their way down the ladder and across a narrow beam over a lava pool at a staggering height.
Brandon, just in case I die, there's something I have to know.
Yes, Commander.
What does the Omega-13 do?
Well, that's a big question, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, it's been the subject of an extremely heated debate on the internet for years. Many believe that it's the matter of collapsor, a bomb capable of destroying all matter in the universe in a chain reaction lasting 13 seconds.
You don't?
No. I am on the firm belief that in reality, it is not a matter killer, but a matter rearranger, converting all molecules to the exact state they existed 13 seconds previous to activation, thus affecting 13 seconds time jump to the past.
How did you come to that conclusion?
My cousin's boyfriend's sister went out with a screenwriter. His favorite movie is The Omega Man.
Yeah.
In 13, I'm sorry, he's seen it 13 times.
Terrible.
I forgot that was even in there. That's hilarious.
I don't think it was.
You know,
Not, they changed it.
Okay, thank God. I was about to say that shit's fun as fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
as you know, I strenuously disagree with this theory, Brandon. If all molecules were rearranged, then everyone would be back in time 13 seconds, rendering the device useless.
Suddenly, a blast erupts next to Jason's head. He and Gwen turn to see Saracens men shooting at them from across the room at the entrance of the cavern.
Okay, guys. Guys?
No. Because the brain of the person who triggers the Omega-13 is not affected, so that person still has his memory after the time jump. And everything is as it was, a chance to redeem a single mistake or misstep.
Thank you, Caitlin. Excellent.
You're welcome, Brandon.
Jason and Gwen run as Saracens men to continue to shoot.
Brandon, time to go.
Yes, Commander. All right. You're almost there. Just go through the chomper and over the pit.
The chompers?
They turn to see the chompers, an unavoidable gauntlet of hissing hydraulics, smashing metal hammers and blades, jutting out from the sides, top, bottom, and diagonally.
Oh, fuck that.
Everybody drink for that.
Yeah, that's worth the drink.
That's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that she says fuck, but then they recorded it differently in the movie.
Yeah.
More gunfire from Saracens men. Another blast melts a pole next to them. Jason pulls his magneto pistol and fires back at them. Saracens men take cover.
Brandon, how?
Hollister, do you have the sequence yet?
Another one of Brandon's pals, Hollister, watches a tape of the show, fast viewing one sequence backwards and forwards over and over. On the TV, we see the cheap painted cardboard version of the Crushers. A cheesy fish-headed alien monster chases Jason through the Crusher, but is toppled by one of the Crushers and falls into the fake-looking lava pit. Hollister times the pattern of the Crushers with a stopwatch.
Okay, the pattern is 2, 2, 4, 2, 3, 8, 2.
You are sure they repeat like that? It's sort of extremely important.
The Mammoth Crushers, Gwen and Jason watch as they smash, grind back and forth.
What is that thing? It serves no useful purpose to have a bunch of jumpy, crushy things in the middle of a catwalk.
Gwen.
Look, we shouldn't have to do this. It makes no logical sense. Why is it here?
Because it was on the show.
You forget it. I'm not going. This episode was badly written.
Commander, you and Lieutenant Madison will have to go through the Crushers one at a time in 3-second intervals. Tell me the first Crushers hit the bottom.
Okay. Now, but
like 2 seconds. Then go.
Another blast.
No, wait. Are you?
Lieutenant Madison, go!
Shit, go!
Go, Commander!
Jason and Gwen run through the chompers. It is a series of close escapes, timed just a fraction late. So at one point, Gwen must use all her strength to pull a sleeve caught in the works before a second hammer comes down where her body was a moment before. Jason drives through a quickly diminishing hole, his magneto pistol falling behind him, getting smashed to oblivion by closing slab.
Stop!
Jason stops, catching Gwen's leg just as a hammer smashes right in front of her, barely missing her head.
Go!
They're off again.
Yeah, sorry. Up!
What? Up?
Barithium lava coming through! Use the handholds above you!
Here comes the lava down to shoot ahead of them. Jason pulls Gwen as just as the lava comes through, sizzling the tips of her singeing hair.
Whoever wrote this episode should die!
The lava passes and they drop and continue on through the doorway. Jason and Gwen run through pitch blackness.
The hell? Brandon, where are we?
I don't know. This part of the ship is completely undocumented.
Oh, great. Just wait.
Fred and Guy are now in the digital conveyor room, very quiet compared to the mayhem in the bowels of the ship. Guy looks down at the panel with great anticipation, then up at Fred with a nervous smile. Fred gingerly takes a hold of the digital conveyor controls.
This should be interesting.
On the digital conveyor display, we see crosshairs target an object. The vague outline is that of a man, but blocky, misshapen. We recognize it as the rock monster. Fred smiles. Dozens of Saris's men continue to surround the oxygen valve when suddenly the rock monster materializes right in the middle of the room behind them. They turn, looking up at it in horrified disbelief. A surreal silence until one of Saris's stunned men clicks his transmitter button. The monster descends in an instant. Fred and Guy watch the mayhem on a monitor, contemplative.
It's the simple things in life you treasure.
The monster chases a group of Saris's men down a dead-end hallway. Saris's men have nowhere to go as the monster bears down on them and crashes through the hall, taking himself and everyone else out into space. The rock monster tumbles gently through the vacuum of space. The monster's jaw moves in a silent, subtitled roar.
Sweet tranquility.
Tranquility at last.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. The room is now emptied of Saris's men. Guy and Fred enter and move to the large valve, straining to turn it. Slowly, the pressure normalizes. Working together, Alexander and Clarke are now using a makeshift battering ram on the door. A readout blinks.
Sir, the pressure. It's normalizing.
Open.
The door opens and Alexander enters. He runs to a panel down the hall and turns the switch. All the cell doors open. He runs to one of the cells and helps a few of the men to their feet. They turn to Alexander, grateful in their faces. We are saved. He has saved us. Commander Taggart has saved us.
Hooray!
For Commander
Taggart!
It's just not fair.
Mr. Quellick.
Okay, Quellick, let's get back to the command deck and...
Suddenly, we hear a pistol blast and Quellick's chest turns red. Alexander and Quellick look down at the blood, horrified.
I'm shot.
He falls, crumpled to the ground. We see one of Saris's guards down the hall. He shoots again. Alexander grabs Quellick's limp body and pulls him out of the line of fire.
Quellick!
Quellick opens his eyes weakly. Alexander pulls aside his uniform to see the wound. It's a mortal injury. Alexander uses all of his acting skills to disguise his shock.
Not so bad. We'll get you to the medical quarters. You're going to be fine.
I don't think I'm going to make it, sir.
No, don't talk like that, son. We're going to get you fixed up.
It has been the greatest honor to serve with you. Living by your example, these years, my life has had meaning. I have been blessed, sir.
He cringes in pain. Alexander looks at him full of emotion.
Don't speak, Quellick.
You'll forgive my impertinence, sir, but even though we had never before met, I always considered you as a father to me.
Blood appears in the corner of Quellick's mouth, his life fading away. Alexander strokes his head, devastated. He looks him right in the eyes, his eyes welling with tears, then with intensity and absolute sincerity.
Quellick, by Grabthar's hammer, by the sons of Aravan, you shall be avenged.
That's got to be someone's favorite line. Come on. All of us.
It's the greatest moment of the film.
That's the Inigo Montoya line of this movie.
Yes.
Line ever.
100%.
Quellick's appreciation of this is indescribable. A tiny spark behind his eyes light up and he smiles, completely content as he surrenders to death. Tears fall down Alexander's cheek as he holds Quellick's limp body. Then a blast hits a corner nearby. Alexander lays Quellick's head to the ground softly, then rises. There's an intensity to him we haven't seen before. His eyes burn. Alexander moves into the hallway, fixating his attention on Saris's men. The guard looks up, momentarily shaken. Alexander looks truly alien, his eyes afire with vengeance. Nervous, the guard fires twice, missing. Alexander begins to run toward the guard, picking up speed. The guard tries to reload his gun, but his eyes are locked on Alexander like a frightened animal, and his cartridges clatter to the ground. Alexander roars like a creature, bearing his vital off. The guard stands there as meets his death, so terrified he can only mutter a single word.
Mother.
as Alexander envelops him like a force of nature. In darkness, Jason and Gwen make their way forward in there. They are stopped as they hit a pitch black wall.
Brandon, there's a wall.
Oh, good. You should be at the blast tunnel. Use the computer to open the blast sections in sequence.
Computer,
Oh, Drake.
open the first blast section.
We see a shaft of light as a huge metal block rises, and they enter a tunnel that dead ends about 6 feet in.
Computer, open the second blast section.
Another 6-by-foot block slides up. As tunnel lengthens, they turn as they hear the sound of Ceres's men in the distance behind them. Gwen and Jason run as fast as they can through the tunnel. The blocks rising one in front of them.
Computer, open blast sections 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
A doorway appears, and Jason and Gwen emerge from the blast tunnel into a large spherical room with a console in the center.
Detonation in 60 seconds.
Okay, Brandon, I think this is it.
He moves to a control panel on the console. There is a large blue button under a glass flap, a visible counter alongside.
I'm at the control panel. What do I do?
Use the glass and push the blue button.
That's it?
Yeah. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just thought it would be more complicated than that.
He reaches for the button when suddenly shots ring out. Ceres's men appear in the doorway.
Raise your hand now.
They raise their hands and the computer continues counting down in the background. 45 seconds. 44.
Listen, I'm just going to push this button, then we'll talk about whatever.
They fire a blast, and he raises his arms again.
You don't understand. The ship is going to explode.
The general warned us against your tricks.
He pulls his pistol and levels it, but Gwen smiles.
You must be the smart one. And so tall.
She starts toward guard one seductively. Jason looks up from the counter, stunned, as she moves right up to him. The second guard raises his gun defensively, and she pushes it aside.
Oh, relax. This is between me and him. May I?
She reaches up to touch the tendrils on guard one's head. Guard two moves to prevent this, but guard one brushes his hand aside. Allow her.
So soft.
Our orders are to kill them.
In due time.
Gar? Oh, is that your name? Gar, it's nice.
Gar, this is sick. It's as if this pleasure with an animal.
He isn't too popular with the ladies, is he? Maybe they could just leave us alone for a while. Just you and me.
No, alien slut. On my planet, we share.
He looks at the others. The three of them begin to laugh and start towards Gwen. Jason rises, but Gwen is already on it.
Computer, we're going to need some privacy. Close blast section 29, please.
Drink. Guard one's smile drops immediately, and he doesn't even have time to scream as the section block drops in the blink of an eye, crushing the whole lot of them to petroleum in an instant. Goo oozes from under the block, and she turns to Jason.
See? Nobody takes me seriously in this thing. Now, how are you feeling? Huh? Do you take me seriously? No? Do you?
Jason flips up the glass and the computer counts down to 12 and smashes the button, then turns to Gwen, a big appreciative smile on his face. They share a silent moment. Then Gwen realizes that the counter is still counting down.
Jason?
She moves to the side as he punches the button to no avail. It just keeps counting down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Gwen and Jason embrace as they meet their final moments together. They cringe as the counter hits 1 and stops. They look at each other bewildered. Then Gwen sparks with the realization.
It always goes to 1 on the show.
A beat. They realize they have melted into each other's arms like old lovers. They separate awkwardly, all business. Better get along. Yeah, look at the time, etc. Ceres's intelligence officer approaches Ceres.
Sir, the core document sequence on the Protector has been aborted.
Impossible! Impossible! Lieutenant, lock a complement of implosive missiles onto the Protector. Tear her apart!
Yes, sir! The hundreds of freed aliens sweep through the corridor, overtaking the scattered remnants of Ceres's guards. Alexander fights alongside them, dealing crushing blows to 2 guards at a time as the aliens sweep around him. Alexander and his character are now indistinguishable. Jason and Gwen appear in the melee.
Alex, you okay?
Yes, good was done this day.
Hey, let's go, buddy. We can take it from here. Come on.
Alexander has to be practically dragged away from fighting one of Ceres's men. Jason, Gwen, and Alexander run up the hall. Fred and Guy appear from around a corner, and they all keep running.
Anybody seen Tommy?
Right here.
Tommy appears from the media room, and they all run as a team toward the command deck.
Okay, we got to get this plasma armor up before Ceres finds out we've aborted the detonation.
Warning, enemy missiles launched.
I think he found out.
In the command deck, they quickly take their stations.
Forward view.
In the central view screen, we see Saris' ship dead ahead, having already launched a volley of weapons right at them.
Armor up.
Plasma armor engaged.
Just in time, the ship is rocked but not destroyed.
Okay, Tommy, go. Lose them. Into the mines.
Into the mines?
Pedal to the metal, Tommy.
Pedal to the metal.
Oh, God.
Tommy eases onto the gas and they accelerate into the mines. Leif looks at Saris.
Into the field, go.
Tommy maneuvers the field with concentration and intensity. The mines whiz by.
Doing good, Tommy. Real nice.
Thanks.
You think you could get any closer to those mines?
Closer? I can try.
What are you doing? What are they doing?
General, I've lost them. The magnetism of the field is disrupting our Wait. And there they are.
Get back on their tail.
I can't, sir.
What? Why not?
Because they're coming right at us.
Fire at will.
The Protector is rocked by missile blast, still on a course straight for the Falcon.
I'm getting hammered, Jason. Return fire?
No. Keep all energy on the armor.
The ship moves straight forward towards Saris' ship. An image of Saris appears on a view screen.
Well, isn't this adorable? The actors have decided to play war with me.
Saris' ship is accelerating towards us at Mark 2.
Accelerate to Mark 4, Tommy.
This is embarrassing, really. I shan't tell the story when I return home.
He's accelerating to Mark 6.
Mark 12.
The ships roar towards each other.
I will remind you, Sonny, I am a general. I have seen war and death as you cannot imagine. If you are counting on me to blink, you are making a very deadly mistake.
Let me tell you something, Saris. It doesn't take a great actor to recognize a bad one. You're sweating.
Indeed, a drop of sweat drips down Saris' brow. Jason fixes his gaze on Saris and smiles.
Forward, fool!
Armor almost gone, Jason.
10 seconds to impact. 9.
You fool! You will fail to realize that without your armor, my ship will tear through yours like tissue paper.
Yeah? Well, what you fail to realize is I'm dragging mines, baby.
Saris' eyes light with horror.
Oh, no.
We cut out to the Protector to see that it is indeed pulling along a large cluster of mines in its wake. Gwen sees the mines for the first time in the rear screen. She turns to Jason, astonished.
I never doubted you for a second.
Tommy, 270 degrees, turn to port.
Tommy turns and everybody digs in as the G-force kicks in. The Protector veers sharply, but the mines continue forward, their momentum carrying them straight towards the Falcon.
No, turn! My God, no!
Saris dives at the controls as the view screen fills with mines. The mines tear into the Falcon, exploding, ripping the craft apart. Millions of fragments hit in all directions. Jason stands, a clenched fist. The others cheer.
Yeah!
We did it! Damn, we did it!
All over the ship, the aliens cheer their victory. Jason and the others turn as the door opens and Mathazar enters, helped along by 2 alien crewmen. He is bandaged and his metal cast on an arm and a leg. Jason helps him to the commander's chair. They look at each other fondly.
Mathazar, you're alive. Oh, thank God.
Mathazar looks at Jason, the old twinkle back in his eyes. Then a smile breaks out on his face and he begins to laugh. Jason stares at him with a bewildered smile.
What are you laughing about?
The ship is a model as big as this. A very clever deception indeed.
Set a course for home, Commander?
Not.
It's point and click. This thing practically flies itself. We will have to go through that black hole, though.
He motions out the view screen at the swirling black hole.
Anybody have any objections?
The rest of the crew exchange shrugs. Battle hardened now.
Let's do it, Tommy.
Commander? Call me Laredo?
Mark 20 into the black hole. Laredo.
They roar forward, picking up speed, shooting straight into the center of the black hole, the hole creaking and groaning under the strain as it seems that the ship is about to rip apart. Then, silence. And everything turns really strange. Bodies turn upside down. Molecules are scattered. Bodies melt to the ground into puddles, then resolve themselves. And then a loud explosion like a sonic boom as they are rocketed out the other end. Planets roar past them like bullets.
We're out!
We're alive!
We made it! Commander, we made it!
By Grabthar's hammer, we live to tell the tale.
Yes.
All systems are working, Commander.
Hey, how fast are we going, Tommy?
Tommy looks at his controls.
Pretty fast.
Jason turns to look at the view screen. Earth is visible now, and they are hurtling toward it fast.
Jason, before we entered the black hole, my instruments detected strange energy surge from Ceres's ship similar to...
Yeah, no time to worry about that, Alex. Tommy, let's get this thing slowed down. Gwen, see if you can calculate the impact point. Guy, get down to deck C and make sure the injured are secured. Also, let's...
He stops and turns as he notices the cabin door open. Standing in the doorway is Fred, who smiles and walks into the room. His manner is strange, sinister, a slight limp.
Fred, what are you doing up here? We should get back downstairs until we...
But Fred suddenly does a very peculiar thing. He withdraws a magneto pistol from his belt, levels it at Jason. Jason smiles, bewildered. Is this a bizarre joke?
Fred?
Fred fires the gun. The blast hits Jason in the chest. Everyone turns. They can't believe their eyes. Jason looks at the blood spreading on his chest. He takes a step forward, then another, stumbling weakly towards Fred. He grabs his collar and looks into his hollow eyes a moment before collapsing on the ground. And as he goes, his hand hits a switch on the familiar box on Fred's belt. We recognize it as an appearance generator. Fred's form flickers momentarily, then he transforms into his true identity. It's Ceres. Scarred, burned, and bloody, he looks like the devil himself. He smiles, raising his gun again, and begins firing. Everything turns to slow motion as Tommy is hit. His body goes slumping over his console, pushing and thrust control full forward. The engines roar like a wounded animal. Mathazar rises and tries to grab the gun, but Ceres backhands him, sending him flying across the room. Mathazar's two crewmen wrestle with Ceres. One is shot, sent tumbling backwards. Alexander and Guy run to help the other crewman as he struggles with Ceres. On the ground, Jason's eyes flicker at the carnage around him. It's like a nightmare, but all too horribly real. He tries to rise, but isn't able. Around him, the bloodbath continues. Ceres fires wildly, shooting Gwen as she tries to reach Jason. She falls, her body sliding next to Jason. Jason shoots her, looks in her eyes as they dull to lifelessness. He yells grief-stricken, then lifts himself up with a Herculean effort and begins to drag himself towards the front of the room as Alexander, rushing Ceres, is hit, clutching his neck. Guy manages to tackle Ceres. He and the other aliens wrestle with Ceres, trying to get the gun away. Alexander, fallen and life drifting away, looks over to see Jason with supreme effort pulling himself up to a console at the front of the room. Then Alex turns to see the Earth, huge, filling the screen, and suddenly we're back in real time. And everyone is jolted as the ship hits the atmosphere, headed straight down toward Earth at 20,000 miles an hour. Suddenly, Alexander, Guy, Mathazar, and the remaining alien look at the sound of a voice.
Billy Ray!
Mathazar!
They turn to
Wait, can we hold up for a second? Can we hear that shit?
Yes.
Like, how did you get through that shit so pleasantly? That was amazing. It's like I was watching
There's more to come.
I'm only surprised you didn't end with prices and participation may vary.
Micro Machines. They turn to see Jason swaying in the middle of the deck, bloody, weak, barely alive, but standing.
Activate the Omega-13.
The survivors exchange expectant and terrified glances. Mathazar quickly moves to a control panel and pushes down a familiar, serious-looking lever, and the elaborate mechanism, the Omega-13, unfolds impossibly from the floor in front of Jason. It centers a spinning cyclotron of energy. In front of Jason is a prominent lever. Jason turns to the others, nods a respectful goodbye, and those alive watch in horrified anticipation as on the view screen the ground pushes toward us, and just as we hurtle into city pavement, Jason pulls the switch, blinding white, and everything goes silent, silent, silent. Then suddenly a large explosion like a sonic boom. Boom. Gwen, Alexander, Guy, and Tommy are all alive, busy at their stations now as the Protector hurtles out of the black hole. Planets roar past like bullets. We're back to where we were before.
We're out!
We're alive!
We made it, Commander. We made it.
By Grabthar's hammer, we live to tell the tale.
Jason looks around disoriented. It takes him a moment to register what is happening. Everyone is alive. Everything is as it was 13 seconds ago. He looks down at his chest. No wounds. The Omega-13 is real.
Systems register functional.
All systems are working, Commander.
They look out to see entire galaxies whizzing by them at incredible speed and planets speed by like bullets.
We're going pretty fast, Commander. Should I?
Jason starts walking quickly across the room, ignoring him. The Earth fills the view screen.
Jason, we're going pretty damn fast.
Jason?
But Jason just continues across the room, arriving at the entrance hatch just as it opens, and we only get a glimpse of Fred's smiling face where Jason buries his fist in it. Jason pulls him up and throws him across the room. As Fred hits the control panel, his appearance generator switches trigger, revealing him as Ceres. He lays there unconscious. Alexander, Gwen, and the others stare bewildered and amazed.
Everybody stay put. Tommy, slow this thing down. Gwen.
Suddenly, Ceres rises and pulls his gun, but is smashed square in the face by a metal crunch. We pan to Mathazar, holding the crutch with a supremely satisfied expression. Jason
never give up, never surrender. That was a good ad from this.
The two lock in combat.
Oh my God, Jason!
On the view screen, they are hurtling straight into Earth's atmosphere. Jason, still battling Saris, turns to a crewman.
We're too heavy. We'll hit the Earth. We got to release the command module.
Commander, at this speed, it is most dangerous to...
You're gonna have to trust me on this. Release the command module.
Gwen raises Fred on her monitor.
Fred, get to sea level now. We're separating.
The crewman operates in control. With Jason distracted, Saris pulls free and goes for a knife, but they are both sent flying as the ship lurches, and they are both sent flying as the main bulk of the ship separates from the command module and veers away, curving off the top of the atmosphere as the command module continues straight down towards Earth. In Brandon's living room, Brandon's mom and dad lounge on the couch, reading the LA Times, a lazy Sunday afternoon. The TV is in the background. On TV, Perky, E-entertainment reporter, share the latest gossip, an unflattering photo of Jason on the screen.
Has Galaxy Quest Space Commander Jason Nesmith checked in or checked out? Jim Dapperson reports from the GalaxyCon Science Fiction Convention in Pasadena.
Cut to the reporter in front of the convention center. A group of Galaxy Quest fans wave at the camera behind him.
Hi, Marcia. It is the third day of the GalaxyCon, and Jason Nesmith and his Galaxy Quest crew are no-shows to the event, much to the disappointment of the Questoids gathered here.
He raises his microphone to a disappointed fan dressed in a tough warrior alien outfit.
We just really feel let down. I mean, part of the show is about sticking with your friends no matter what, and I just feel abandoned. It's hard.
Do you think maybe he's in space?
Are you mocking
me? Digitize me, Marcia.
Anchor Marcia does one of those entertainment anchor laugh sighs. Brandon's parents turn pages of their paper, not even watching the TV, and then Brandon enters in a rush, 2 boxes of July 4th fireworks in his arms.
Bye. Back soon.
Wait, where are you going with those fireworks, Brandon?
The protector got super accelerated coming out of the black hole, and it just hit the atmosphere at Mark 15, which is pretty unstable, of course. So we're going to help them, Laredo, guide it into the Vox ultra frequency, carrying the used Roman candles and visual confirmation. Sorry, guys, I'm a little
just drink everything. Just drink.
Brandon, have you been drinking? Okay, honey, dinner at 7.
Brandon exits.
Yeah, at least it's outside.
A news reporter appears.
We interrupt this broadcast. We interrupt this broadcast to report that an unidentified object has broken through the Earth's atmosphere. I repeat.
Hollywood Hills. Tourists are either dumbfounded or oblivious as the mini Protector comes burning through the atmosphere and over the Hollywood sign. Downtown LA. Hundreds of people watch frozen as the command module comes hurtling towards the sky, delicately taking off the flashing tip of the Bonaventure Light Tower. The 134 freeway. Traffic jam on the 134. Duh. A woman in a convertible Jeep listens to the radio, then suddenly the reception goes to static and we hear the broadcasted chatter from the Protector over the airwaves.
Hold course, Laredo.
I'm trying, Commander. Everything's a blur, but as long as I stay locked to that Vox signal...
Tommy, look, those lights!
I see them.
Pasadena. Brandon and his team, along with a number of other heroic nerds, stand in their uniforms in a line on either side of the 3rd Street, blobs of them firing off on the Roman candles. Brandon stands at the top, holding his Vox transmitter high. We pan up to see the Protector capsule appearing over the horizon, gigantic and breathtaking. It comes hurtling down towards the kids. It soars right over Brandon, then glides to the ground, sparks blazing for another 500 feet, straight toward a large, recognizable building, the site of the GalaxyCon, right toward the banner which reads, "Welcome, space travelers," and crashes right into the side of the building. Convention hall. Fans run for their lives as brick and plaster fly everywhere. The ship teeters in a cloud of dust as it finally comes to a rest, halfway in, halfway out of the building, having demolished the stage area. Shocked silence. The fans, the sellers at their booths, everyone is frozen. The announcer slowly rises from under the card table. Then we see the ship's main hydraulic hatch open. A ramp lowers to the ground, and a figure emerges. It's Tommy, looking bruised and scarred and certainly the worse for wear. The fans don't know how to react. In the silence, Tommy looks around the hall. Hundreds of faces look back at him. Then they begin to applaud. Tommy looks around, flabbergasted. Then, what the hell? He waves. Seeing this, the announcer raises his microphone hesitantly.
Lieutenant Laredo Tommy Weber.
And Gwen appears, helping Fred down the ramp. He's limping, both as beat up and worn as Tommy. The three stand together and look at the audience, shell-shocked.
The beautiful Tommy Madison, Gwen DeMarco with a ship's tech sergeant, Chen Fred Kwan.
The fans applaud loud and shout. Then Guy stumbles out, a cut on his head, looking disoriented. He looks out at the cheering fans. The announcer isn't sure who he is.
Another shipmate.
Guy stares out at the hundreds of faces. Then a smile creeps slowly onto his face.
I'm alive. I'm Plucky Comic Relief. I'm the Plucky Comic Relief.
His maniacal laughter. His maniacal laughter is drowned out by the applause. Then everyone's attention turns to a flickering creature coming down the ramp with Alexander helping him. It is Mathazar, his appearance generator on the blink, and his entire body alternating between his human and alien form.
Dr. Lazarus of Tevmec, Alexander Dane, and a friend.
They go nuts.
Mathazar, are you all right?
We'll be fine now. Thanks to all of you.
The fans then look up, astonished to see glimpses of hundreds more of the aliens in the ship's portholes. Everything grows silent. They can't believe their eyes, and suddenly, as if all weren't enough, there's a crash, and Jason emerges with Saris, the two locked in mortal combat. Saris is bigger and meaner, but Jason has the advantage. He quickly overcomes Saris, punching him again and again and again until Saris collapses to the ground unconscious.
Commander Peter Quincy Taggart, Jason Nesmith!
Jason, Gwen, Alexander, Fred, Tommy, and Guy stand there, shoulder to shoulder, as the audience goes into a frenzy of applause. Whether it's real or not is no longer relevant to them. They're just jubilant. Jason looks out and spots Brandon and his friends in the back of the room. With a look of true gratitude, Jason crosses his fist in the traditional Galaxy Quest gesture of respect, and Brandon returns it, about to burst with pride. Then Jason dips Gwen, giving her a big kiss. The crowd cheers. A teen female fan faints. They release, and Jason puts his hands in the air, taking in the adulation. Gwen turns to Alexander, flustered, as the audience cheers.
He always has to make the big entrance.
I grab Thor's hammer. This is true.
Living room, somewhere. A cute little boy, no older than 6, lays on a carpet in front of his television, swinging his legs and munching on a bowl of popcorn. On TV, we see the opening to Galaxy Quest, but now the effects are modern. TV quality CGI, and Jason and the others are their current ages. The title comes up reading Galaxy Quest. The journey continues. And as the ship whizzes past and out to space, the little boy raises his little fist in the air and shouts, a joyous sparkle in his eyes.
Never give up. Never surrender.
That's my favorite line.
And that's our favorite line.
Holy shit. That was
God
awesome.
damn it.
And that is the end of the read.
Wow.
That was the funnest thing I've ever done. Like
That was
since
so
quarantine.
great.
Yeah, that was really, really good. Everybody was
All
wonderful.
did amazing.
I was pretty good, I thought. Surprisingly. I was shocked by that.
I'd say Alan Rickman was low-key number 1. And then Alien Mathazar number 2.
Amazing. Incredible.
And then all of you guys fell in the same.
I thought Gwen was wonderful. Clarke, well done as Gwen. That's a fun role.
Wait, let's talk about the reader.
Oh, I was born to play Tommy. Are you kidding
And
me?
it reads a monologue like that's 2 pages deep. So fast that you literally see it happening like a movie.
Billy Ray, your finest hour.
I
Maybe,
agree.
I would say.
Fantastic.
Go team, everyone.
We were done in 2.5
great.
hours.
Tristan, you were amazing and wonderful, and Kirk, and everybody was so good.
Everybody was great.
I was planning to watch the movie after we did this, but now I feel like I don't have to.
I lived the movie.
Yeah. I have to say, oh, go ahead.
Are some of those scenes that we read in the deleted scenes that you spoke about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
fascinating.
There was a bunch of stuff that was left out, but also everybody really stepped up for the deleted scenes. It wasn't an invitation. It was like everybody was actually performing them. But I gotta say 2 things. One is, I think that Kirk, I have to give you some specific credit, because in the movie Robin Sachs never gets the credit. He's the dearly departed Robin Sachs. He never gets the credit for how intimidating he is playing Saris. You did that.
Oh God, you were
great, and I think you honored his memory.
Yeah.
And also, second, I just have to tell you all, I spent 3 years looking for audio of Sigourney Weaver saying, "Well, fuck that," and never found it. We were going through attics. Dean and the director and I were going through an attic looking for it. We asked everybody, and hearing Clarke say, "Well, fuck that" tonight.
That's so good.
It was a satisfying moment.
But I should say it to everybody at home. We did this for a cause, and that is a great charity called Project Night Night. So if you watched this read and you enjoyed it, or if you watched it and you hated it, give us some hate money. But you can go to our website at scriptsgonewild.com, click on the donate button. It's going to take you right to the Project Night Night website. and you can make a donation directly to them. They're doing amazing work right now, as are all the charities that we support. But please make a donation if you can. Even if you stumble on this read in a week or two, which a lot of people do, you can donate then. They're going to still be taking money in a week or two. And I'm going to do a couple of quick plugs really quick. Our next read, before we take a quick break, is next Wednesday. We are reading The Terminator. We've got Chad Michael Collins, Aaron Cummings, a lot of really fun people who are going to be reading for that one. We'll read that. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to jump back in December for a whole lot of Christmas reads. So, which would be a lot of fun. Clay, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Screen Drafts podcast? What you got coming up there? We got a lot of alums on here.
Yes, yeah. Screen Drafts. A lot of people here on the read. Bryan, Aaron, Clarke, Chris, Dave. You guys have all been on the show. Yes, we in the feed right now is a ranking of the best drag films ever made from Chris File and now I'm on the spot. I'm gonna blank. It's Joe Reed, Chris File and Joe Reed, the guys who host This Had Oscar Buzz. That's a great episode. And then next week is insane. It's our biggest episode ever by number of titles. We're doing we're calling the Pixar Super Draft. We're ranking every single Pixar movie. And we've got Griffin Newman, who is a alumni of Scripts Gone Wild, and Adam B. Very, Angelique Jackson, and Dane McDonald. That's going to be insane, probably 5 hours long. So if you need a podcast to listen on a cross-country road trip or something, check that out.
Have you not recorded it yet, Clay?
No.
Okay, so if it's longer than the Star Trek draft, I will be shocked.
Dave, I can almost assure you it is going to be longer.
That seems like physically impossible because I felt like real pain in my body after Star Trek.
But good pain.
Oh yeah, it hurts so good.
It hurts so good.
But yeah, if you guys at home are not familiar with Screen Drafts, you should subscribe to it and listen to it. It's an awesome podcast that I put on from time to time as well. Yeah, so that was a great read, guys. Thank you all so much. Wait, I forgot one thing too. We have a small batch of Scripts Gone Wild mugs that we are currently selling. We decided to start. We've been wanting to get into the merch game for a while. We're starting out slow with some mugs. They're really cute little mugs that have the Scripts Gone Wild logo on there. They're $15 if you would like a Scripts Gone Wild mug. You can hit us up at PayPal. You can do the whole Venmo thing at Scripts Gone Wild and just include your address, and you'll have it in time for some Thanksgiving cider that you can drink out of your Scripts Gone Wild mug.
I want a Scripts Gone Wild mug.
I also want a mug, but I will not give you a single red cent. Nothing.
You give us a blue cent.
I've given you free labor for the last 6 months.
You know what, Dave? I'll send you a mug.
Whoa, hold on. If Dave gets a mug, I get
a mug. You don't get a mug.
Okay.
You don't get a mug.
Ray, you picked the wrong read to promise people mugs.
We now even have less mugs. So if you want yours,
no. Sell those mugs. Sell those mugs, Billy Ray. I don't need a free one. Sell those mugs.
Our next batch of stuff is flasks and pint glasses.
Oh,
so maybe those would be more enjoyable for our.
What about a mouse pad? A mouse pad.
Let me know when you get
a wonderful idea.
Let me know when you get a corn cob pipe.
We do have Scripts Gone Wild condoms.
Coaster.
Condoms.
Billy Ray, I want a Scripts Gone Wild 2 GB thumb drive.
It's got so much spyware on there.
I want to give one final shout out to Jason LeBlanc, who chose this read for us. Thank you again so much, sir.
Thank you, Jason. Good choice.
And I'm going to introduce our cast one final time. We've got Joey Cramer.
Hey, Jason Nesbitt.
We got Yuri Lowenthal. Clarke Wolfe. James Preston. Paul Guyet. Dave Schilling. Bryan Cogman. Kirk Bovill. Tristan Cunningham. Jack Bennett. Ken Foster. Miguel Rodriguez. Aaron LaPlante.
Shut up, Clay! Shut up, Clay!
Clay Keller. and Chris Devlin. And guys, on the count of 3, I'm going to take a screenshot of everyone. So get your pose ready.
I'm going to suck in my gut like Jason Nesmith.
Suck in your gut. Is everybody ready? I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2,
Do this
3.
thing, right?
Boom. We got it. Wave goodbye to everybody at home, folks.